So this is where we're gonna get real dirty, right? And start talking like nasty.
There's something wrong with you, Chad.
Hey, welcome back to part 2 of the kickoff show for Mainframe Comic-Con. Hopefully everybody finds us all right. StreamYards wants us to cut off every little while, so we cut off, and now we're back. And luckily, we did have a few people in the chat find us. John's Comics with Kids, he's here for part 2. Gummer, you are in the right place, sir. Welcome back to Mainframe Comic-Con. The boy who had 7, big thanks to Matt for helping us out during part 1. He is more than welcome to come back.
I want him to come back.
He's
much better than me and Drew.
Gomer's upset about the lines.
No, that's true. No
sorry.
line. Sometimes be some cool people in the
I'm
lines.
trying to find Legend. Where's
We got Patrick Seacrest Kelly is in the chat.
What's going on, Pat?
And my man, Comic Man Andy. What's going on, Andy?
Host of Any Given Andy. Any Given Thursday. Andy Given
Thursday.
Andy Given Thursday.
Andy Given Andy.
Hey, third time's a charm.
We got a new. Anyway, we had some fun in the first part of the kickoff show. So, Kat, what'd you think of Leather when she disappeared?
Yeah.
What the?
Who removed me?
Anyway,
JD keeps on deleting you for some reason.
I
He
do
doesn't
not
want you
delete. I
on
don't
here.
know how to delete the goddamn thing.
Kat, what did you think of Leatherface?
He was
What are we doing?
awesome. I need to ask Kane Hodder about this feud / friendship the two of them have.
Prank war.
Prank war 100%. But he was fun. I loved me some Leatherface. The Saw is family. We all know that Legend and I won't shut up about that. But yeah, I was really excited about that. He was
Chad,
cool.
we got Christian Gossett working on a drawing for us. We got to make sure we get him back to check and see how that's going.
Plus, I got Gabby's going to be doing something special for us right now.
That's awesome. I was going to say, Gabby, she had some phenomenal paintings.
Oh, my.
If she doesn't sell out her whole store, I'll be disappointed. By the end of
Guys,
the week.
this is a Friday night kickoff show, and I feel like it's been pretty amazing.
It's been
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, so far so good.
All I'm waiting for is these wrestlers to call me back.
Woo! We're not
about
on fire yet.
How about George C. Romero? That guy was awesome, too.
That was
He
fun.
was the Romero.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Fun.
Amazing.
Yeah, he was a lot of fun.
His
Great
dad,
to talk to.
when I was in college, there was a course, one of my theater courses. His dad wrote a story on filming tragic or emotional scenes, and I don't think people give enough credit to Romero as being like an acting coach as well for everybody who ever tried to do horror. He was, I mean, that's why I think Night of the Living Dead gets credit but doesn't get enough credit, is that they're not working on a blue screen, they're working with reality at the time, and it was way better. And no offense to that. So but I loved every bit that was done with Cesar Romero. I was like, Chad, I'm like, is that's Junior? His dad was such a legend as far as, I mean, the books he wrote on fear acting. What do you got?
You want me to?
Yes.
Right, hold on.
Okay. So
Hold on. Do you want me to do it right now?
yeah, dude.
Which
Yes.
one?
Carol
That-
Baskins.
No, because we have Jeff Lowe coming on later.
White and green.
We do.
White and green.
Do you guys want me to call?
White
you want
and
me to-
green.
All right,
Yes.
hold on,
Yes.
hold
Do
on.
it. Do it.
Hold on. You want me to put it on speakerphone?
Yes.
All right, hold on. All right.
Wait for it. Wait for it, guys. This is gonna be so worth it.
Well, while Chad figures out his phone, let's go back to the chat. We got Scott Evans hanging out still, Patrick Seacrest Kelly, Chris Barrett, boy who had 7,
All
and my favorite, the Stream Elements robot.
All right, here we go.
Do it.
Speaker. What's his name?
Jason David Frank.
Okay.
Hi, you've reached Jason David Frank, JDF Inc. I'm sorry I'm unavailable at this time.
What's that? What did I do?
We got Chris Barrett in the chat, the Mastodon.
Just leave a funny message.
Carson gave me a dirty look.
You never prank phone called anyone before?
You're supposed
So
to ask
anyway,
them
we
if the
got California
refrigerator's running.
Glenn joining us. So she's getting ready to do something special over there. JD, we got anyone else coming in?
Well, I just asked Gabby. Yes, I have a Kyle Willis coming in.
So our next guest coming in after the artist is going to be none other than Alfred from Batman the Animated Series.
Pennyworth, nice.
That guy who keeps telling me that my DC app doesn't work?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Oh, my phone died. Damn it.
Well, plug it in, Chad.
The charger's for
You got
Chad.
a USB cord right there? You buy like 30 computers. You got the Sanctum Sanctorum. Just magic up a charge, bro.
And that's the other thing. I Sanctum Sanctorum. I like my view, to be honest.
It's okay to be a little jealous.
Can somebody get Alec back here?
A window that looked like
I think he was taking a break, Chad.
Alec is taking a break. We got 20 live viewers. Let's give them something to view.
Okay,
Gabby, what are you working on there live?
I'm working on a picture of Storm from the animated series.
All right.
Not great.
Are you painting that as we speak? Did you
Yeah,
just
she's
do
painting that as we speak, Chad. People are watching you prank call a Power Ranger and fail miserably while she's over here making
I
beautiful
wasn't
art.
prank calling him. I was trying to get him on the show. He hasn't called me back, so I figured he'd want to come on.
I don't know. I don't know if that's what that means, Chad. I don't know if that's what that means.
He keeps on hitting the FU button. That hasn't happened to me in a while, man. I'm very upset about that.
You sure that hasn't happened to you for the past couple weeks in a row?
Dude, I've gotten everybody I've called.
I'm just saying it's been an uphill battle for some of these acquisitions.
Hey, Mark, how are you? I see Mark there. Shark Week.
Mark, go away.
Oh,
Be nice
poor
to Mark.
I was
Poor
literally just getting
Mark.
ready to check in with our friend Mark to see how he was doing.
Chad
today.
said, "Go away." JD said, "Be nice to Mark."
Yeah.
Thank you, JD.
This
You're only 5 hours away.
What you got there, JD?
This is my submission years ago when I decided I applied to create a character for Marvel, and I said, "What if Squirrel Girl was venomized instead of?" In other words,
That's sad.
at the church, and I got it sent back to me finally saying we still don't need this. So, hey,
That's
they held
sad.
it for a while, so they must have. It was in some basement somewhere. I was very happy about that. You want today is a Hall of Justice, kind of. Where's my windows? So I'm about to pull the trigger next week on a big golden.
Ooh, Patrick Kelly just got a Batman Who Laughs from Gabby.
That's awesome.
Oh, very
That
nice.
is awesome.
Good for you. Let me see if Kyle is
I'm
available.
gonna put the link up on the screen there. It's squareup.com/store/California Blends Art.
And I'm just going to put this up here as a banner a few times. Let me see if I can do this. Her rates, for Gabby's rates, 8x10. Let me just make sure I got this number down. Gabby, are those rates good for everybody?
Yeah.
Sure, I'm perfect.
yes, they are.
Perfect. All right. So
I need food.
8x10. Edit. Nine by 12. Where do you buy most of your canvas? Are you a Michaels buyer for the discount and the?
Yes, I mainly buy my canvases from Michaels, and I can buy them in bulk, maybe about 10 canvases. But I also like to purchase some of my larger canvases from Jerry's Artorama, which is a local art store for me.
Do you ever go to Hobby Lobby?
Actually, no, I've never been to Hobby Lobby.
It's good because they're
It is
closed
good.
on.
They do the framing deals they do. I mean, I have a local framer here who does it for me, but they used to work at Hobby Lobby before they started their own frame shop for the museum here, and they swear by Hobby Lobby's.
Where's Gerald?
Yeah, he was supposed to be on tonight. He's going to be on this weekend. He had to close the store down. I want them both on. And 14 by 18.
Hey, Chris Barrett, if you want to go get some chicken nuggets, I'll meet you at McDonald's. Let's do this.
So on the bottom of the screen there, what you'll see is 8 by 10s are 20, 9 by 12s are 30, 12 by 12 is 35, 11 by 14 is 40, 12 by 16 is $60, 14.
JD, you're doing your best here, but nobody can read that. There's weird commas all over that thing, man. You're driving me crazy. This looks like the equation on the board and during the what was that movie? Goodwill Hunting. Yeah. Some janitor's going to come by and tell you the answer to that.
There you go. Good stuff. How do you like them apples, Drew?
Applesauce.
Very good. So, as Gabby's doing, I'm waiting to hear from Kyle. Let's see. Let's see what he's got here.
Gabby, that's really cool. You work everything out in pencil first, and then do you have a plan going into it, or you just kind of let the paint take you where it goes?
Carson, I just got your text message. We'll scrub that.
I have a plan going into it, and then I normally have several reference photos that I look at for lighting references.
That's awesome. Yeah, you can tell in certain lights the pencil work that you've done so far, and it's looks like it's going to be a pretty great piece.
Thank you.
So is Storm one of your favorite X-Men?
Yes.
So who is your favorite comic book character?
Spider-Man.
Which one?
Which Spider-Man?
Peter?
Parker.
Peter.
The OG?
Yes.
All right, let's see.
I'm a fan of Superior
let's keep on
Spider-Man
watching what
myself.
you're working with here.
Oh, turn everything on.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Spider-Man 90s animated series.
Oh, the Jim Lee.
That's not Jim Lee.
Yes.
No, it's Fox Kids. Fox
Right,
Kids
but
Spider-Man.
I realized it was taken from the.
Mark, what are you eating?
That was the worst entrance music for a cartoon in the 90s.
What is that, Mark?
No way.
Mark, show him what you're eating.
Mark's got pizza on a fancy plate.
He's got a plate. That's what.
Mark, seriously, tell us what's on your pizza plate.
Jalapeno.
As fucked up as Cat's like takes on movies are, Mark's pizza is worse.
So I have jalapeno, and I also bake sriracha into it.
You're nice.
Let's go back to the paint.
Hey, tell him about your sweet potato and
my sweet
ones.
potato and marshmallow pizza is probably my best creation. That's really
God.
good.
You are so weird.
That was so good.
You are the weirdest person I ever know.
You know. After that, you put a little bit of pecans on top of it.
Oh my God! Just shut up.
Gabby, do you have a favorite pizza topping?
Pepperoni.
Just pepperoni. That is classic. I'm with you there.
Bacon, buddy. Bacon.
Wow, bacon's good on everything,
Bacon
my friend.
does not go on a pizza chat.
Bacon is the only meat that is a condiment for everything. It goes on ice cream. It goes on donuts.
I will tell you,
it goes on
Carson
cheeseburgers.
Pizza ever.
Carson's telling us to shut up.
I will change it for everyone.
Carson
Greatest
said
pizza
shut up.
ever. Pepperoni pizza, bacon, and pickles.
Yep.
Carson, what were you gonna say?
I was just gonna let her.
In the bathroom. She's like 2 thumbs up right there. Pickles on a pizza with cream cheese.
Hey, we've got a comedian coming on. Can she come on?
Yeah.
She's better looking than you.
What? Me? Thanks.
Yeah, that chat.
Yeah, that hands down.
I was just gonna say all the marks are coming out in the chat tonight. We got Chris Barrett saying, "Mark, go eat another death gummy."
Nope.
AKA Mr. Bolo says Mark is always on brand. And
Hey, they've got a great panel.
They did a great podcast.
Mr.
The other
Bolo. Yeah, they had an amazing. I mean, I don't know about the podcast, but like the guests were pretty on point.
Yeah, the guests were great.
Fucking on fire. But they are going to be hosting Mad Cave very shortly, which is pretty awesome.
That's right. Chad, what do we got coming up this week? And what are you looking forward to the most? You broke your back putting this together. What is going to be worth that effort for you to see?
So honestly, tomorrow is Here, I'll share some behind the scenes shit.
While he starts setting up, I just want to let you know, Carson, I got a list full of names I got to put in a randomizer for a giveaway we're doing in about an hour and 20 minutes. So I'm going to hop back and do that. I will be right back with you folks shortly.
That's right. Drew's been put together this contest. You will find out the winner of that contest at 10 p.m. Eastern. But back to you, Chad.
So I this is going to show my age. But the thing that I'm looking forward to the most is a tie. Kevin Eastman and Carson is going to be
Carson and Eastman.
Carson and Eastman.
I have no words. I cannot wait.
I mean, honestly, just to see Carson and Alec interact with Kevin Eastman is going to be amazing. And then also Kids in the Hall, man.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be great.
I did an off-air with those guys, and they are, I mean, they're stoked. And to see Kids in the Hall come back, I'm squashing your head. And
no, Kids in the Hall was the best thing before Mystery Science Theater 3000, 10 o'clock at night on Comedy Central when I was in college.
And then, yeah, absolutely. And then we also got Robot Chicken coming on tomorrow, and then the cast of Orville and Nosferatu, and then Donnie Cates and
Nosferatu. That's Joe Hill's product, right?
Yeah, Joe's going to be with them, and we also have Megan Hutchinson, dude.
That's right.
What an amazing artist. Ron Mars. The list just goes on, and the fact that we don't have to leave our house and we can get drunk. I mean, what the hell better is this? But most importantly, Ryland Grant is my number one. So it goes Ryland Grant, Eastman, Donnie Cates, Kids in the Hall.
That'll crush your head, all right. Kat, I know you're looking forward to Kane.
Kane.
Oh, you know what? I gotta call him back.
You better call him back.
No. The real Kane.
Excuse you. There are two real Kanes.
Glenn Jacobs.
One of which
I gotta go.
His last name is Hodder, and he happens to kill a lot of people on camera. You know what? Let's forget about that man anyway. And the second one is my nephew, and that's Baby Kane. But Kane Hodder, because I have to say Kane the way my niece says Kane, and Kane Hodder. I'm so excited about that man. I've met him at so many conventions. He is a bear of a man and just fantastic. Of course, RA talked a little bit about his prank war going on with it. I definitely need to ask about that. But why are you mocking me?
I'm not mocking you.
Oh, you're trying to hit the Mainframe Comic-Con.
There you go. Hey.
Anywho, I'm also really excited about Linnea Quigley. Linnea Quigley, of course, an 80s scream queen. Fantasticness. We all know that she danced naked on a tombstone. She squared off in a slime ball bowl-orama with a bunch of sorority babes, and she also got hung up on some antlers and had a really funny workout tape in the 80s. But
so wait, you know about her, but you don't know about Kids in the Hall.
I know Linnea Quigley because I loves me some Linnea Quigley. But there's a bunch of really fantastic stuff going on throughout the convention. Don't just take my word for it. So who else is everyone excited about for the con?
I'm interested in the CGC Signature Series panel.
That's right.
As somebody who collects a lot of Signature Series books, mostly from deceased, is what I'm trying to complete my Bernie Wrightson first 10 Swamp Things in the highest grade signed. It's harder than I ever thought, but what can you do? I also am a huge fan of the panel coming up with Rylan Grant tomorrow. Rylan was one of those writers that I reached out to, creator, I should say, when he was doing Aberrant. Before issue 1 dropped, he sent a preview out on Twitter, and I said, dude, this is the funniest thing. People aren't going to get it, and that's what makes it so much better.
All right, so I'm going to put California Blend in the background because we've got our next celebrity guest, and that is, you ready, Carson? Drum roll. Give him some props.
We got Alistair Duncan getting ready to join the chat. How are you doing, sir? It's nice to have you here tonight.
Good to be here. Thank you for inviting me. My goodness, look at you all.
Good seeing you, sir.
Hey, thank you for being a part of this. You are my Alfred.
Thank you. I thank you, sir.
I'm sorry. I just got excited. Look, I get goosebumps. It's happened.
That was so much fun playing Alfred. Yeah.
So I'm gonna, if you don't mind, do you mind if I run through your credits?
Go, please. I'd be happy to be reminded of them.
Well, while I pull them up because I don't want to miss anything. Is there anything that you're currently working on?
There is, and I can't talk about it.
Okay. Well,
because
then
I'm an NDA.
Okay. So
I am working, but I'm not allowed to talk about what I'm working on because it hasn't been announced yet.
All right. So if you don't know who Alistair is, Alistair was Adrian Toombs, aka the Vulture, Goblin King in the animated series of Spider-Man. Also, you would see him in Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Star Wars The Old Republic, Onslaught, Avengers Assemble, Darksiders 3, Troll Hunters Tales of Arcadia, God of War, Dragons Race to the Edge, Middle Earth, Shadow of War, Westworld. I want to get back to the Westworld one.
No, he was definitely on the Mad Men. I know that.
Yep, Mad Men.
Yeah.
I'm
Batman
just
Unlimited.
all of your characters in my head, and it's making me smile. I'm sorry.
Order 1886, World of Steam, NCIS, Middle Earth, Shadow of Mordor, Regular Show, Lightning Returns, Final Fantasy VIII.
It's just it's too much. I'm getting embarrassed. I feel like some of them feel like they were so long ago, and I'm like, okay.
But more importantly, he is Alfred.
I'm Alfred. It's so weird. It's like everybody knows Alfred, he's a fun guy.
So walk us through, when you got the offer to be Alfred. I mean, did you know that?
I didn't even literally. I went into my agents and stood in the booth and did the audition and thought I'd be called back in to meet with the producers because that's what normally happens. And then I got the job. They just called and said, "Yeah, it's his. He is Alfred." They said, and I said, "Thank you, sir." Do you ever find yourself? Do you ever pick up a comic book and read it as Alfred to yourself? No, I've never done that. I've got it in my head though, and I'm going to. I'm going to be like,
I just want to get you to leave me a voicemail one time, just once.
Actually, interestingly, it's God of War. It's a character from God of War that's the one that people want me to do most now, which is Mimir. He's this. Do you know anything about it?
No, trust me. I have it in that room behind me, behind the sanctuary.
I want to talk about his character from God of War because that became one of my favorite video game characters of all time. That's the only reason why I own a PS4 is for that game. And I like to call it Bad Dad Simulator, but your character comes in and really starts to show Kratos, the main character, kind of how to be a caring individual, which is a really weird thing for a character in your position to do. Yeah. Kind of a head he carries around, correct?
Yeah, Kratos, the God of War, chops my head off, and then he carries me around attached to his belt. I am the smartest man in the world.
So I'm going to date myself, but I looked up a little bit about you, and you were on the my Cliff Notes version of Hound of the Baskervilles.
Oh my God!
Freshman in high school.
There you go.
I was a freshman in high school when you did Hounds of the Baskerville. That was probably mid to late 80s. It had to be.
Yeah.
And Arthur Conan Doyle, Sherlock Holmes. For those that don't understand that, we actually read books without pictures for years. But it was. Yeah. And I actually, when I found out about it, when you were going to come on, I said, I know this name. And sure enough, it was my cheat sheet version to pass the test because I read the book, but the retention was bad or in the movie at the time. And that was, I'm going to date us. We're about 32 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. It's got to be. 30, you're right. 1988.
Yeah. I was a freshman in high school, and Hound of the Baskervilles was on BBC, and they broadcast it in the U.S., and we could watch it in the U.S. And we had a test on Hound of the Baskervilles, and we all watched it that night. And you were playing. Were you Moriarty?
I was playing a conglomerate characters. There was all these different characters. And
right.
What was my name?
You were like 3 different people at the same time.
That's right. And in fact, the guy Chris Tabori, who played Sir Henry Baskerville, became a great friend. And that's the first time I came across to America. Was right after that. You know, we were filming together. We were on the Yorkshire moors, freezing to death, and soaking wet. And he said, "You should come to America." And I said, "Sure, I will." And I did, and it really surprised him because he never expected me to actually take him up on it. And I just got on a plane and came across and said, "Hey, I'm here."
That's so great. Yeah. Are you classically trained in a?
Yes.
You know, you've always heard Patrick Stewart's classically trained in his versions of Shakespeare and so on. Canterbury Tales, obviously. Are you classically trained as well?
Yep. I mean, I did a lot of Shakespeare. I actually did Macbeth like 4 times. And the Edinburgh Fringe, doing Shakespeare there, the Edinburgh Festival, and Shakespeare all over Britain. And theatre all over Britain. I do miss that. I miss actually doing.
When I was in college, I tried to do a lot of the Shakespeare in the Park and Shakespeare's on the Green in New York City, and I did Much Ado About Nothing. I had a good lead in that one. I always wanted to be Professor Moriarty in Hound of the Baskervilles, just because of that whole.
So
the true villain, like everybody, there's villains behind me everywhere. So the guy Iago from Othello, I would say.
There you go. No, that's the classic. Absolutely,
that's the best villain of all time. Period.
The villain in our version of Hound of the Baskervilles. So at the end, when the Hound actually gets him, and he ends up, falling into a swamp and drowning essentially, and the actor playing it was wearing a toupee. And I promise you that it actually floated to the top as he went down. He came up. It ruined the moment. It wasn't that scary then when you saw his big flat floating to the top.
That's great. Thank you for take down memory lane. That's great.
Oh my God, you're taking me down. It's amazing.
I just love classically. I mean, I was in theater forever, and I enjoyed it and loved the classically trained. We used to say the British invasion's coming again. It always did. We would try to pretend to be like I always wanted to be Iago in Shakespeare. That was my goal, to be the baddest villain of all time. The villain that never, there's not a good thing he does throughout the whole play.
And the thing about him is there's no motivation. He just does it. He does it because he's bad.
Yeah.
He's just a bad guy, which is great. Every other villain in all of this place has a reason, has a motivation. Iago doesn't. Yeah, what the hell? I just want to kill people.
Of all the villains, he has no righteousness whatsoever.
No,
he never thinks he's right. He knows he's bad the whole time.
Yeah, what the hell? I just did it. I felt like
it. Great story. Good stuff.
It's cool.
So I've got a question. There's a friend of ours in the chat who prides himself on having a great voice, and I think he'd really want me to ask.
Yeah.
To get into voice acting, do you have any major tips or advice for someone looking to get into that?
Yeah. Oh, who's that?
That's my daughter.
Hello. Yeah, be lucky. I do. I went and I thought I want to give this a try, so I went and did a workshop with a great voice actor, and who became a friend, and then utilized what he told me, and then Alfred came out of the blue. I got it, and I was like, okay. That's what I say. I just auditioned for it and got it, and then everything started coming out after that. But interestingly, I generally do better for voice auditions when I go in and work with the producers or directors than I do doing voice auditions by myself. I find that once I can connect with people and I find out what they really want, then I can give it to them. I can actually, I've got enough. I guess it's being classically trained. I like working with a director. I like working with somebody who's going to tell me what to do and where to go. And then that's how I get most of my jobs.
Awesome. Kat, did you have a question?
All right. So my husband right here says that he wants to talk about Call of Duty. I'm sure my mother wants to talk about Sherlock Holmes because she raised me on Sherlock Holmes. And,
there you go.
But me personally, I'm ignoring both of them. And I'm going to say, can you please do me a favor and give me your best Master Bruce?
Master Bruce. Master Bruce. Master Bruce. Master Bruce. Depending how I'm feeling about it. Master Bruce. Ah.
Thank you.
Nice.
My pleasure.
You want to ask him about Call of Duty at all?
Did you at least have fun with doing the role you had in Call of Duty?
Call of Duty is such. There were a few roles I did, and it's the great thing about doing games like that is you're doing motion capture or performance capture, obviously, which is like you're walking onto a soundstage and you're inventing everything. You're inventing the environment. You're inventing what's going on around you, what you're wearing. You've got to be able to visualize it all. And so in that instance, because you're thrown into a situation, the worst thing for me as an actor is you walk onto a set and you've got one scene and you've got to be, you've got to get it, nail the character, nail everything in that one scene. And you do the one scene and then you get out of makeup and you get out your costume off, you get your makeup off and you get in the car and you're driving home and you go, oh my God, I know what I should have done. Now I know who he is. Okay. So you're doing motion capture and you've got these small characters that you're going to play, they've asked you to play this and that and the other. And you go, okay. And one of the characters I was playing was a guy who's wearing an explosive vest that is going to go off. And they come and the heroes come and try and save me. And then they realize it's not going to work. And so the hero grabs me and throws me over a balcony, over an edge. And it's like, okay, Alistair, so just, you're getting killed. So, go there. And you're, okay, I've got to, and everybody's sitting there in their, in their black suits with
like the dots all around, yeah.
And then you just got to do it. And if it works, it's like, oh, this is great. And it's actually very releasing because you're like, I just got to go. I just got to go. I'm going to go crazy. And they can always pull me back. They can do whatever. And it's fun. That was actually really fun to do, to go, okay, you're going to get some serious madness here. So that was cool. That was cool to do. There's a lot of, of being very, there was a lot of just giving information, which is not as much fun.
Okay. Cool.
So my next question was, between animated voice acting and video game voice acting, is there like a major difference between the two, or are they pretty much almost the same thing in your eyes?
Good question. Actually, Alfred was so much fun because it was we were all working together. We were all always there, all of us doing together, and we got to really play off each other. And I love the character. Motion capture is such. I'd say motion capture is the thing that makes games different from animated shows. I've never done a big animated, motion capture film, but the games. So it's a different beast there. Once you're back in the booth, then it's very much. It's a similar thing. There's just a lot more to do for a game and a lot more exposition for a game. In an animated thing, it's just normally a 20, 25-minute episode, and you get to bash it out. But for a video game, you're doing it over like a year to 2 years. And so you suddenly have a big break and you go back in again and go, what am I playing again? I can't remember. Let's hear what I did. So those are the major differences. It's lovely to play something for a long time. It's really cool.
That's awesome. I actually got a question in the chat. And chat, please go ahead. If you got questions, just go ahead and get them in there. We got the Boy on 7 Talks comic books, and he's wondering, is there a character you have a deep desire to play or act?
I want to play Macbeth again. It's funny. That's the one character. Every time I've played him once before, and I played virtually every character in the play I played, weirdly, with a very small cast. I was doing all sorts of different guys. But I would love to go back and play that character again, to play Macbeth again. I'm getting too old, but you know what? I'd give it another shot just for the hell of it. And then apart from that, I've actually, because I'm Scottish, and I've actually found a real joy in playing Scottish characters. And Mimir is Scottish. Like they said, they wanted him with a Scottish accent, and that helped me find who he was. So I feel a real connection to my country and my background, and when I can use it in what I play, I really enjoy it. It makes it a lot easier for me, and that's why I love Mimir so much, because he's a bit of a he's a good Scotsman. He's just irascible and funny, and he's got a soft heart, and at the same time he's a dick.
Awesome.
I had my mic on mute. I'm sorry, guys.
We do have another question from the chat. He says, this is Chris Barrett. He says, out of all the great Shakespearean actors, who would you most likely to co-star with in a play?
Wow. Oh my goodness. I always wanted to, he's dead, but I would have loved to have worked with Laurence Olivier, because he was just
Sir Laurence Olivier.
Lord Olivier, actually, I should say. I knew his children very slightly, but I never knew him. And I look at his work, and it's fascinating to be on a stage with him.
Were that the Vivian Lee children?
No, that was Joan Plowright's.
Joan Plowright's children, okay. We had one with Vivian and...
Yeah. So
I have a dumb question.
Go. There are no dumb questions.
So is there any voice that you would, from a voice project, is there any project that you would clamor to be a part of?
Any project I would clamor to be a part of.
I mean, I'm just suggesting. I hear a little C-3PO, just a tad.
That's it.
So
I would have loved to play Celebrimbor again. I did,
okay.
Shadow War, those games when I played the elf Celebrimbor. Oh, the dead elf. It's funny. One of my characters are dead. Don't quite get that, but they are. Mimir's dead. I mean, had his head chopped off. Celebrimbor's dead. He's a wraith.
You're the dude from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, that's right. Whatever. I just come back. But is there a project I would? I guess I would love to. I mean, Avatar.
Oh my God! Yes,
that would just be.
I just instantly envisioned you as a blue dude with a tail.
I think I'd look really good like that. I think I'd look cool. Just huge and big blue tail. Yeah.
I would love to be big and blue.
Some days I
am. So I know you said you can't speak of any projects that you have, the one that you're working on, but is there anything else that it maybe is in production that you can speak of?
No, because literally everything is in production, but they're not allowed. They've not been announced. So I am legally bound to actually come on this show and say, no, I can't tell you anything.
I can tell you that I think you'd be a very good Professor Xavier.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, that would be fun. That would be really fun.
I would love that, dude. It's seriously, is Alfred coming back anytime soon? Because that's a badass.
There's actually a new straight to video streaming movie that we've done that we're going to go back and should be coming out the middle of this year, middle or end of this year. So that's again, I can't remember what it's called. Batman and something. But yes, there I am again.
Can you promise me, like, when it comes out, you'll come back and you'll have a conversation with us?
Thank you for inviting me. Thank you for sitting there and listening.
And I'll give another shout out because your agent is a badass.
Sure, she is.
Kat and I are scared of her and love her in the same breath.
She is so cool.
Just don't call her at like 8 o'clock in Eastern and realize that it's like really late on the West Coast.
Yeah.
Really.
She's a sweetheart, man. I love her to death. And like, how are you holding up with everything that's going on?
It's great. I mean, I'm my kids and I yesterday. My girls, they were getting stir crazy. So I said, get in the car. We got in the car and I drove to Santa Monica. Like where I am, it normally takes an hour and a quarter to get to Santa Monica to the beach. 23 minutes. We arrived there, fences up everywhere. We parked the car next to the beach, the big fence. There was a gap in it. We ran through it. We ran across the beach. A police helicopter flew in and we stopped and we waved and pretended we were going back. We ran to the water. My girls jumped in the water, ran out, and we ran back to the car. It took 5 minutes. It was like, we broke the law, and I'm admitting it. I'm sorry, but it was fun.
So I'll compare that to like my situation. Like we run down to the Allegheny River and we jump in and then we catch some kind of weird disease. And then I got to get a whole bunch of penicillin and then I come home and then I have to take off work. So
it's like, which one do you want?
Hey, I appreciate you so much for coming on and being a part of this.
Thank you very much.
So much.
I appreciate it.
Can you give us some parting words as Alfred? What would Alfred say in this particular situation?
Sir, please be careful. And remember to wear your mask.
Oh my God.
Yes.
I got fucking chills. Thank you so much, Alistair, and have a great night. I God bless you, man.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Have a good night.
Guys, what did you guys think? That was amazing.
That was awesome.
I want to check out that storm drawing. Looks like it's
let's go back. Look at this. Oh, I'm not looking.
My face is still gone.
Won't move in.
It's
Act like you like me, Mark.
I do love you.
So, Gabby,
Yes.
tell us what's the word.
Not much.
We have a lot of Storm fans. We actually, I think on the show we did, Storm was the most popular female hero we had. A lot of X-Men fans, a lot of Showman fans.
What show was that, JD?
It was an Unlimited show. When I was back in when I was hosting on.
I thought you were going to say something that wasn't on the core, and I was going to have to
No. We talked about it with Jeffrey Comic-Con, John's Comic Kids, and myself. We said, who's the best heroine? And I said Jamaica Black, but then they meant the other heroine. So then I said, okay, then I'm gonna have to go Storm.
I always thought Storm and Wolverine should have hooked up.
She was better with T'Challa. You kidding? That's a good storyline.
Yeah, but hey, by the way,
Storm and Wolverine did hook up. They were dating all throughout the Jason Aaron Wolverine and the X-Men run. You should read it.
Yeah, yes. But you know what? Tonight's episode is brought to you by 4 Pints Brewery.
Yeah, it is. Where's my beer, Chad?
Yeah, where's our
IPA?
Where's
not
our
here yet?
I haven't said it because I'm drinking.
Because you're drinking it all?
Yeah, sorry.
What? You could have shared. Jeez, you had enough for the class.
I'll be back when the names are on the wheel, folks.
Hey, guys, with that being said, we also have a special guest coming up tonight. Late night after the round table, we have Greg Rucka.
Whoa,
very good.
Coming on tonight with a very special host from the podcast world. We've got, hold on, Word Balloon podcast is coming on with Greg Rucka tonight. And tomorrow night, they will be doing a late night with Matt Fraction.
Oh, Matt Fraction. I like that. Carson and I could talk about this. The runs he did, the runs that Matt Fraction was on.
Guys, I got to ask one question, JD. I'll let you go. Tweet that out. Get everybody in here. Guys, come on. Let's get some love. Because, woo! We might have a special guest for JD, too.
Ooh.
Carson.
Yeah, I know. Kat, you know a little bit about Matt Fraction. Remember the Hawkeye run?
She doesn't know anything about Matt.
Wait. The Iron Fist one, Carson?
That one's great, too.
That's the best Iron Fist one I've ever read. And his Punisher War Journal.
Have you guys seen this?
Sex criminals.
It's a
Have I seen
that?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Is that what we're showing action videos?
Yeah, so Carson suffocates his toys. I let my shit breathe.
Oh, actually, I do know something about some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
What is this?
Let me zoom in on that. Oh, look at that one.
Oh, that's a good one. I like the
that brings back some memories.
But I don't know if you guys know this, but tomorrow night
some of my toys
at 8:00 Central Time.
See all the Thanoses.
We've got a guy who JD says just created a bunch of turtles. But we've got Kevin Easton.
Say that. I didn't know him.
Dude, I know, but
he's known for creating the turtles and nothing else.
I need more.
Did you guys ever do the turtle? Oh shit! I gotta go because I gotta bring on our next guest.
Please do.
All right. Well, the main reason
Okay.
we're here for the Hero Initiative and we're here for the Red Cross. So once again, the links are down below, and also those super chats, they go 100% proceeds to the Hero Initiative. But it's very important that we help those comic creators in need who can't go to the cons and make that extra money right now that they need to make, feed their families. And of course, the Red Cross during this big COVID-19 event we got going on, Red Cross, they need all the support they can get because they're trying to help out as many people in need as well. So definitely click the links, donate if you can, and we definitely appreciate it. So JD, what's next up on the docket?
On the docket today, we're going to have a guest with Chad. We're watching how Gabby's finishing up that storm, getting into that storm. Just one of those characters. I'm just mesmerized how I tried to draw. I just can't do it like others. But I'm really excited about the Matt Fraction. We shouldn't poo-poo that. That is probably one of the most guys of the last from 2000 to 2008. I would say he was probably the actor who worked on the best series I've read during that time, the Punisher series, the Iron Fist series. And Matt is just one of those guys that did I think he worked a lot with Clay Mann on that Gambit series too.
That's right.
Yeah.
That might have been a little bit of Colin Bunn as well, if I remember.
Yeah, Colin Bunn was the writer for sure at that point, yeah.
Yeah, Matt Fraction.
I hope the best for Colin Bunn. I hope everything goes okay. I mean, I know you're probably watching. We'll get you on. Just come on. Just reach out and please come on.
All right, Colin Bunn, definitely one of the best.
Yeah.
I mean, I know there's so many things to look forward to the next two nights. And like I said, who knows what's going to happen next here on the Comic Core Kickoff show for Mainframe Comic-Con. Let's get back to the chat here and see what's going on. We got Chaos and Comics. He's back. What's going on, man? Chris Barrett says Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Heroes in a Half Shell. Turtle Power. Could have said it better myself, even though I did say it. We still got Comic Man Andy in the chat. What is going on, Andy? Just to kind of plug something I'm doing coming up. This Monday, Andy, me, JB, and Drew will be on that Modern Men Monday, 10 p.m. Eastern. We're reading Killing Joke this week.
Good choice.
We still got Gummer in the chat. Don't think that'd be cool. Daredevil, Matt Fraction.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good run. my question to the Modern Men group is: you grabbed a lot of Alan Moore, but you didn't grab From Hell yet. And if anybody else in this chat can understand, Kat Wren could understand. From Hell is so far and away the scariest and most realistic comic book Alan Moore ever did. I mean, there's Watchmen, there's V for Vendetta, there's everything you want with Killing Joke. You've got that. I mean, let's be honest. There's Swamp Thing from 21 all the way on up to 52. I say is mandatory reading. But From Hell, his Jack the Ripper storyline.
I gotta interrupt you, man. I gotta interrupt you.
Go ahead.
Because I have a special guest for a special birthday girl right now.
Okay.
She about shit her pants already.
Hi.
This is Linnea, everybody.
Is that birthday girl?
That's
Hi.
the birthday girl.
Who's the birthday girl?
Hi. I love
Oh,
your
there
movies.
she is. Oh my God.
Thank you.
There's another
This
person
is-
having a birthday today, so
Who's that?
her name is Lisa Inman. And
Okay.
there must have been a lot of copulating around like 9 months before that.
So we're gonna tag in. We're gonna remove JD for 1 second, and we're gonna bring in our other horror guy, and we're gonna put California Blend. But Kat Wren,
Wow.
I told you I'd get her. She's right here.
I almost didn't believe you, Chad. I'm not gonna lie.
So
Oh my God.
for those
Come over,
that
you
don't know,
guys.
so
We're
for
doing
those
great.
that aren't familiar, Linnea Quigley is I will say it right now. She is the Scream Queen. We had Mark Patton on who said he was the Scream Queen, but Linnea is the Scream Queen. And she has been in
Genre.
Hookers with Hacksaws, Grindhouse 2.
Oh, we lost her.
Oh no, who hit that? Oh, she'll be
Nobody. We
back.
lost
Just
her.
dropped off.
We
Aw.
dropped Linnea. We're going to do our best to get Linnea Quigley back on here. We're very excited to talk to her, Kat especially.
Yes.
Look at Kat, the highs and the lows of Kat Run Figures. Watch her face in disappointment when Linnea drops out, and her face of excitement when Linnea
She's
pops
back.
right back
She's
in.
back. We'll get her back.
Roller coaster of emotions up there in the center square.
So I'm
back.
gonna get
I'm back. I'm standing here in the doorway.
okay, and the
I'm sitting in
reason
the
I know
doorway.
she's in the doorway is because I've been talking to her for the past 2 days, and this woman is probably she should be named Saint Linnea. She has a ton of property that she brings in and adopts rescued animals, very similar to our own Kat Wren Figures. Kat Wren, while we have Linnea on here, hit her with your questions.
All right. Oh my God. All right. So we all know and love you from, of course, Return of the Living Dead, Silent Night, Deadly Night. But one of my favorites has always been Sorority Babes and Slimeball Bolorama, Spider. So what was your favorite part
Yes.
of that film?
Oh, I think when I got to fight, that was so fun. You know, I mean, the lines and stuff were so funny, you know, like I've had enough of this shit. And then, you know, like clocking people.
Just such a badass chick. I'm
You can
sorry.
hear me, right?
Oh,
Yeah, we
yes.
can hear you.
Oh,
Oh God, dude, I love your movies. I'm not gonna lie. You've played the gambit.
I heard you're badass.
Thank you. From like the start of like 100% throughout the horror genre. Everyone knows you start out as the victim, you die, you work your way through the different levels, and you just are a badass in this genre. And everyone, oh my God, if you do not know this woman, check out her IMDb because so many fantastic films. Oh my gosh.
You are sweet. How much did you get paid to say this?
I don't get paid to say this. I just love your movies. I don't know if you can see behind me, but my entire wall is just like horror and like randomness. But oh my gosh. Oh, I was so excited when he said you're gonna come on. All right.
I was too. I was like, I can't wait. And it's your birthday, so it's even cooler.
Oh my God. You've had close to like 150 films, I believe.
Oh wow. Yeah, I think so.
Gosh. Just the body of work you've been a part of. I mean, what are some of the what I'm sorry, I know I'm stealing you away from everyone else, but what are some of
That's
your
all right, Kat. Go ahead and gush.
Just in general,
it's your birthday. You can do it.
films that you've worked on personally? What are some of your favorites?
Well, I do have a soft spot for Sorority Babes in the Slamball Bolorama, Return of the Living Dead. Even though it didn't turn out great, Postmortem America was really fun to do because I got to play the badass. And let's see, there's so many. Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers was fun because I got to kill Gunnar Hansen and Bauer. And let's see, those are my favorites. I think Vice Academy was fun, even though it wasn't horror.
Yeah.
So those are my favorites.
Oh my gosh.
The Mastodon in the chat stated that Wikipedia has a separate page for Linnea's filmography. That's impressive. That means that there is too much information
I didn't know that.
in your body of work for them to keep on the front page of Wikipedia. That is an accomplishment for sure.
Oh my gosh. I know. It's like eat your heart out, Susan Sarandon, huh?
Yeah. Well, I mean, what has she been in?
I don't
Come
think
on.
she's done that much. Exactly. And how many horror films has she done?
Not enough.
No, not enough.
The Hunger. That was good. The Hunger was really good. I like her though, actually.
I'm a Susan Sarandon fan. I can't say I'm not.
Yeah. Yeah, she's great. Thelma and Louise. Ooh, yeah.
Do you have a dream role, Linnea? Is there something you haven't done that you'd still like to do? Seeing as you've got so much done in your career, is there something that's still on the bucket list that you haven't ticked off yet?
Well, it'd be fun to play like a Linda Hamilton type Terminator role. That would be so fun. Or G.I. Jane or something like that. But it would be cool to be in a like a horror Linda Hamilton type role. That would be fun.
So, Linnea, I have a question for you. First off, the fact that you got to speak to Ginny is amazing because nobody here even believes I have a wife.
I've met her.
I've heard her yell at you several times, Chad.
Carson and I have met her, Chad.
So the second part is I can't wait to take you to dinner. It's going to be a blast. But did you grow up in Long Island?
Me?
Yeah.
No. I grew up in Iowa. Why?
Because somebody thought that your mom was a speech therapist in Long Island.
No.
Okay.
Oh no.
So I
She's
got
a
my
housewife.
facts wrong. I'm sorry. But
That's
my
okay.
dad went to college in Iowa. And is it true or not true that the original Bates Motel is out there?
You know what? I don't know that. But
Oh
it
my.
probably is. I wouldn't doubt it.
So did you watch Tornadoes?
Yeah, like tornado warnings. I didn't see any personally. It would have been kind of cool, but I remember we used to have to roll our awnings up and do all this stuff, and we had a bomb shelter actually too, that we could go in.
Not the Bates Motel in Villisca, Iowa. There is the Axe Murder House. I'm in Nebraska.
Oh, God.
In Villisca, Iowa, there's the Axe Murder House where people get their heads. That's a true horror. Where you can go in and you can go on the tour. Where wasn't Lizzie Borden? I live in Nebraska now, so I understand the Iowa thing.
from
Lizzie Borden was in Connecticut.
Right. It's not a Lizzie Borden. This was an axe murder that happened in Liska, Iowa. And that house is still available. It's down the block from a Triumph motorcycle dealership. That's how I know it.
But
Oh, wow.
Linnea is the hardest working person in horror genre because, to her credit, she has more films than anybody I know. One of the most sweet, nicest individuals I've ever met, and I thank you for even gracing us with your presence.
I am so happy that I could.
You are a rock star,
especially on a birthday night and on your show, Chad.
Oh, well, hey, you know, I'm kind of a big deal around here.
Yeah. And I'm not going to say why, but Chad has had a hard day today, so he gets like thumbs up.
Yeah. The only two people I've shared that with is you and Carson and JD.
Yeah, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to say anything. It's too terrifying.
So we do have a question in the chat, if you guys don't mind. This one's from Chris Barrett. And he says, if you could work with any director or creator team, who would it be?
Ooh, good question. Oh, my gosh. It would be fun to work with Spielberg, you know, like on a not Jaws, but a Jaws type movie. That would be fun.
Nice.
Because I can do the Steven Spielberg, you know, rise up and look, you know, movements. So,
more importantly, is there going to be a Stripper Land part 2?
I hope so. I hope so. That would be really fun to be Granbo again. When I got that call, I was like mortified. I'm like, Grandma, oh my God.
So Bigfoot versus DB Cooper. I mean,
yeah, right.
Come on. You're the best.
Yeah, that was stupid. I was in the credits.
Stupid is fun.
Wait. I haven't seen it yet, but I heard that I'm like advertised as being in it or something.
Yeah, you are.
You are.
So is there any projects that we can see that is upcoming that you want to speak about?
Yes, I just did the Barn 2 and what's his name? Oh my God, R.A. is in it. And
is he really?
Ari Lehman, yes, he is.
He's the best.
Ari, yes. He's in it, and Lloyd Kaufman is in it.
Nice.
So it's going to be pretty cool. And it's so different than Barn 1. You know, it's really different. And I'm in it a lot more. There's also, oh my God, this name kills me. Killer Babes and the Frightening Film Fiasco, which is going to be filmed as soon as this COVID thing is done with. Or Corona, not COVID. It's a new one. Well, COVID-19, whatever. But there's also a movie called Buzz. And then these are all going to film as soon as it's okay. And then the other one is, oh my God, what's the name of it?
86 Zombies?
Starts with a J. Jasper.
You're playing Nancy O'Neill. Oh, did we freeze?
I think we just got a little bit of lag there, Chad.
Just got a robot.
You're kind of like
I said
cutting out a little bit.
You're playing Jasper. In Jasper, you're playing Nancy O'Neill, April O'Neill's cousin.
Oh wow, you know, okay.
Come on.
And that's like a horror film. It's like about a serial killer, so yeah.
But guys, Linnea, do you have any website that we can direct everybody to?
Well, yes, of course I do. It's www.linnea-quigley.com, or they could go on, what's even better, the original Linnea Quigley Facebook, and it has all the links there to everything I'm doing.
So guys, Linnea, I want to tell you personally from me, thank you. It has been a pleasure this is now my true best friend. We've spent 2 days together, and it's been awesome. So thank you, Linnea. Carson.
Oh, Linnea still with us, wasn't it?
Yeah, we powered through it.
Chad, we got a question from our live chat.
Okay.
DK Comics and Cosplay Linnea wants to know, what kind of animals do you rescue?
Right now, it's just 14 dogs and 1 cat, but I'll take goats and, mules, whatever,
Wait to talk to you.
Has that always been a passion for you?
Oh my gosh, yes. I used to rescue animals as a kid and drive my parents crazy.
That's awesome. So it's now that you've grown into your own life, you've taken on as many as you possibly can, and that's a really noble cause. That's amazing.
Yeah, I was like, all my life I wanted to do that, and I'm like, well, I'm a grown up. I can do it now. I'm totally a grown up, and why not do it?
No need to
buy
ask
some
permission.
land and do it. Nope, no more.
That's amazing. From scream queen to dog herder, Linnea Quigley, everybody.
No, you're so right. It's like hurting them. It's like not easy. When I had 4 or 5, it was kind of easy, but now with 14, it's definitely not easy because they're all in the house and they all sleep on the bed.
It's an amazing amount of patience.
Oh yes. Oh yes, it is. It is. Because sometimes they don't get along and I have to be the referee.
Yeah.
Whitewell Comics in the chat says that poor cat is outnumbered.
It's like sometimes it just hides in the rafters. It doesn't want to.
Should you name it Sting?
Down. Oh, that is good. I like that. No, I should. I've got 2 more coming. 2 other cats I could name that.
Keep them in the rafters. That's a great way. That's a great way to do it.
That is. Oh my God, that's funny. Keep them in the rafters.
We're gonna put your Facebook is up on the screen right now, everybody. Everybody's got a dang Facebook. It's 2020, folks. Get on your Facebook and go to that Facebook.com official Linnea Quigley site, and all of her information is there. Linnea, thank you so much for being a part of Mainframe Comic-Con. We really appreciate you taking the time to stop out and chop it up for us and our fans.
Well, thank you so much. I wouldn't miss it for the world.
We got to have you back sometime on our Friday night show that we do on a regular basis, and we'll talk more in depth about some of the projects that you're working on.
Okay, that would be so great. I would love that. Maybe we can get the directors on too.
Oh, if we could get a panel of a couple people, that would be totally great. Keep the conversation going and open things up for people to discuss.
Okay, so you have a good night. You have a good birthday. You have a good night, and just.
And Chad, like always, he's busy on the phone, but I'm sure he sends his best.
Oh, good. Okay, all those phone calls from all the fans. Oh my God, they all love Chad.
You couldn't be more wrong, but thank you very much for your time, Linnea.
Okay, I'll see you guys later.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'll see you soon.
Bye. Okay, bye.
Thank you very much, Ellen. Thank you.
That was amazing. What a guest. Kat, how'd that go for you?
I love her even more now.
I didn't want to distract. That's why
my little ice cold.
Let's see what we got going on here with California Blend. She is still hard at work. We got a lot more depth going on here. Oh my goodness!
Look at that. Great job with
that. Is beautiful.
Now, Drew, best heroine in the X-Men. I always defer to you. From my reading of X-Men, mostly the Claremont.
I don't want to hear about. Honestly,
I have a question for Drew.
I got a guest in the waiting.
We can talk anytime, JD.
JD, can you put your wife on air because she's better looking than you?
Yes,
Get her, because I got a guest for her.
We got a guest.
Where are you? Liz, where are you?
Chad, why don't you go ahead and bring that guest up, and I'm going to stop my yapping and hop off here.
No, dude. If I want you to stay in here because we are gonna.
Well, she's put me to work.
This guy. I'm gonna pump him up. Where's Carson?
He left.
No,
so you can bring on the guest. Chad, get it together.
Hey, stay here.
Okay. Go ahead, Chad.
I have Mr. Reginald Ballard. If you guys don't know him, he's best known for his time on the Bernie Mac show. Or what I know him from, Martin. See, I said it like that. And
that's my best Martin.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to remove her from this because she's a little too young for this one. But on the main page, Reggie.
Yo, what's up?
What is up, my man? I'm gonna put you on the big screen.
Bro, man, from the 5th floor. That's what they know me as. What up, man?
What's going on, man?
Man, I'm just chilling, man. Ain't nothing to do around here, man. So I bought me some electric scooters. I'm riding up and down the street, man.
Reggie, where are you located at, man?
I'm in Pasadena, California.
Pasadena, California. Must be
right by the
beautiful
Rose Bowl, man.
All right.
They got a hell of a like a swap meet there once a month.
Oh yeah. Every second Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah, my son go over there, man, see what he can steal.
I mean, borrow, right?
Right.
I was out there one time. I got a Tupac CD. It was a bootleg. I came home and it wasn't Tupac. It was some dude named Tupac. So Reggie, tell us where we can find you and what you're doing, and give us a little bit of rundown, man.
Oh man, I did. I'm old school, so you get me on like Facebook, man, and Instagram as bruhman _5th flow, and just did an episode of work with my childhood hero, man, Richard Roundtree Shaft.
Oh man, that's crazy.
Oh, man. Up in a show called on Netflix called Family Reunion, and man, let me tell you, man, I was like a big Shaft fan when I was a kid. Man, I wore my Shaft shirt. Man, I'm telling you how a group is. I don't understand how people be coming up to me all the time, but I did the exact same thing. I went up to him. I had my Shaft shirt on. I was so excited. I said, hey man, can you sign? Can you sign right there? He like, man, I ain't signing your titty. I like, nah, man, a shirt, man.
I'm a huge Shaft fan. Because of the Samuel L. Jackson revival when I was a kid. A white kid from the suburbs,
right,
loving Shaft. It's like that's the dumbest thing I ever heard in my life. But that was me. I'm a big Shaft fan.
Up, man. Richard Roundtree was still cool. Still Drake. You had his little cognac. He got
those movies all hold up too.
Man. Yeah. Still cool, man. Still cool.
So are you doing well when this whole pandemic out? Are you doing the tour scene? Are you doing the improvs and all that?
I had to cancel a few shows, man. Matter of fact, I'm scheduled to do a cruise show on a cruise next month. Don't think that's going down. So, it's a good thing, man. I got, my stock's been doing real well. So I got to live off that right now. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I can tell you this, and I've paid her a compliment on everybody, but Judy is a badass agent. So
man, Judy cool, man. My little Jewish girl. Judy hard worker, man. She don't mess around, man. Judy don't mess around.
I know from access to Chad's emails that Judy's been up his ass for the past month.
Is that right?
Judy light him on fire
a couple times.
Judy cool, man. Judy cool. She cool as the other side of the pillar.
Oh, you're pulling out that old Stuart Scott.
Yeah.
I remember watching ESPN back in the day, and I'm like, man, what's wrong with that dude's eye?
I know.
Who's he looking at? Why is he looking?
He had the Forrest Whitaker thing. So one side was no nose, and the other side was stay awake. No nose and sleepy.
That's what my boys call it when you get a little too sauced up. You
Yeah.
get that Forrest Whitaker eye.
So you'll take like somebody in college, they'll take that no-dose. So he's trying to sleep, so he take another one, sleeping pill. So that's what he had. One eye studying, the other eye chilling.
One time I dated this chick who had a 1 or a 9. One time she was looking over there and looking over there at the same time. And I had a pause and I was like, I look and there's like a dude over there and there's a chick over there. And I'm like, pause.
Hey, Bernie had that junk, man. We used to mess around on the set all the time, man. And Bernie, you know somebody so good at talking about you that you start talking about what's really wrong with them, they real personal defects. And I say, hey man, I said that's why your eye messed up. I said that's why that eye looking at that eye. I bet you go out the house, you go right back in, and I turn around do a circle. They're like, oh man, that's messed up, man. That's messed up.
What's it like working with such a legend? You know, he's one of those guys that everybody has their favorite Bernie Mac bits.
Man, I tell people, man, that I work, that I got my master's degree working with Martin, and I got my PhD working with Bernie. Man, it was like those two dudes taught me so much, man. And Bernie used to tell us stories that was so funny, man. I mean, he used to tell us, this is one. Can you cuss on it? You
say whatever the fuck you want.
Hey, okay, I'm gonna tell you a story Bernie told me, man. True story. Bernie said when he first
on the big screen, man.
When he first started doing comedy, promoter owed him $75. He said, but the promoter wasn't coming out the back room to give his money, so he got tired of the shit. He said, I went and knocked on the door. He said, a big 6'8" motherfucker come to the door talking about. So I said, yo, man, want more money? I said, what more fucking money? And the dude said, I ain't got the money right now. Walk it off. Fuck that, what more fucking money? He said, the dude touched my hand, walk it off. Give me my fucking hand. He said, why did I do that? Because the next thing I heard was, walla walla. He said, man, the motherfucker hit me in my motherfucking ear so motherfucking hard, I couldn't even hear what motherfucker was saying. Like, are you all right? I got up, motherfucker said, walk it off, I got up, and I walked that shit off. That was true story, man.
Dude, the fact that you can do a Bernie Mac impersonation, shit.
Yeah, well, that's firsthand experience, Chad. So wait, I'm gonna make you possibly burn a bridge here. Who's funnier, Bernie or Martin?
Oh man, shoot. You know, when it comes to characters, man, nobody could do it like Martin, man. And just pure stand up, I say Bernie.
Oh yeah, man. Like, think about Bernie for a second. I mean, and oh my God, help me out here, Reggie. What's the dude's name? The house party guy, Baby's kids.
Robin Harris.
Yeah, like Robin was sick at stand up, and then when you have Bernie Mac, I mean, they were right there.
They were close. They were real close.
I mean, if you even go back and you think about House Party, like, I know you, man. I followed you all the way from the driveway. Drip, 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 drip.
Yeah.
Come on.
Follow the drip.
And Baby's kids, come on. You and I had that conversation off air,
too. About how we multiply.
We had that conversation a little.
You know what? Just a minute ago. If Robin didn't die, Martin wouldn't have never been the host of Def Jam.
Oh no shit!
So that's how Martin came up, because originally that was Robin Harris' time, and it was
Robin's show. Yeah,
he was supposed to shine. Yeah. So
I remember hearing that. Might have been the Def Jam documentary.
Robin was hilarious, man.
Yeah. Now you've had a chance to work with so many greats.
Yeah.
Is there anybody on your bucket list, like great comedians that you still haven't had a chance to work with, that you're kind of eyeing, like any producers or stand-ups or anybody working on any projects right now, you would say, I'd jump over my mother to get to that role.
You know, people don't realize that I majored in theater, and I started acting first before I did comedy. I was on Martin before I did stand-up.
Yeah.
And my idol, man, was Robert De Niro, man. And I would love to do something with him, you know what I mean? Because I like his style, man. I mean, I tell anybody, you want to be an actor, man, you got to at least watch Taxi Driver once a week. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the dude played like 3 characters really without you even knowing he played 3 characters.
That's true.
Yeah,
man.
So, okay, here's the hardest question. I've got friends in the game. It's hard. It's hard running that gambit, right? Who is the best? Your top 3 stand-up comedians.
Stand-up, man, you got to say Chappelle is one. And see, man, I don't get out a lot to see, some of the dudes that I say that I would tell you that you never heard of before, man. And got a cat out of New York, man, named James Talent Harris. Never seen that dude bomb, man. That dude, I mean, he could take a crowd and just totally rip it apart, man. But you don't. I mean, he did a couple of movies back in the day, but he didn't have a big name. And I would say Eddie Murphy, man.
Oh,
it's my list.
Mm-hmm.
Eddie a genius. Eddie didn't
people forget how great Eddie was. He did too many family films for people to forget him showing up in that leather jumpsuit. Come on, man.
Hey, did you
people forget that stuff?
Because nobody thought about it because he was crazy.
Dolomite. Did you see Dolomite? My name is
Dolomite.
I haven't had a chance to see it yet.
Dolomite was off the chain.
Oh,
but
man.
I will tell you, there was a point in Eddie's career where I think was it Raw or Delirious, where he comes up and he had leather gloves and he had a pinky ring on top. I mean, that dude was.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah.
He was on another level.
Eddie was on a whole nother level. I mean, I'm gonna give you my top 3 is Carlin, Pryor, Chappelle.
Oh, I thought you were talking about living, man.
I mean, come on. I mean, Carlin
my favorite 3 of all time is Richard, Red Fox, and probably Eddie.
and they're doing a new. I just heard Eddie was talking about it the other day when he was doing the interview. He was talking about Coming to America. They got a new Coming to America.
You talk about something that's ripe for a reboot. That's a good property that I think that you can do justice to and have it not be a super corny reboot.
Right.
There's so many great performers from that movie, so many great characters. Every character in that movie stands out. Everybody who has at least one line stands out in that movie. So I think that's something that's totally ripe for a reboot.
Yes, man. Yeah,
call Reggie, get him to be a part of that project.
Talking about alive, but of all time, man, those 3, man, probably. Those are the ones that I laughed hard at. I laughed hardest at as a kid, man. Because Richard, man, oh man, what Richard does, Mudbone, man, that has me. I want folk dying, dude.
Having a coconut smile, shutting the fuck up, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Now, Reggie, we are a comic book channel. Mostly, we're delving into the entertainment here and there. We're mostly a comic book channel. Do you have any aspirations for maybe being a part of one of these superhero movies?
Dude, look at this motherfucker. He looks exactly like Luke Cage.
Martial arts. Anything I can act like Bruce Lee, man. I'm a Bruce Lee fiend, dude.
So you can do a roundhouse?
I can do all that, man. I took as a kid. I can do all that.
Get you in the new Shang-Chi movie.
Hey, man, I'm telling you now, and this weight behind it, Woo! All I gotta do is nick your chin, and you gonna fall out.
So, hey Reggie,
I can nick your beard, dog.
Whoa.
Reggie,
Leave the beard
you're in
alone.
LA, right?
Yeah.
So, are you a Raiders fan or are you a Steelers fan?
Oh man, that's funny you say that, man. I'm a Steelers fan.
Oh! No. Enough of this Steelers Yinzers nonsense. Chad has been bringing as many people on from Pittsburgh as possible, and as a true blue Baltimore Ravens fan, I gotta say your squad is whack.
You know, I give the Ravens some props, but they disappointed last year, man. I thought y'all was going to do better than
run the ball.
Hey, greatest quarterback in the history of the regular season, worst quarterback in the history of the playoffs. That's what his stats say. You can't it ain't gonna get it done, but like,
do you guys know that Carson's being real quiet right now as a Bears fan?
Oh yeah, oh man.
I was just using the chat. Hey, there is speaking of a question in the chat here. We got Chris Barrett saying, I have to ask, who is your favorite person to work with?
Mine?
Yeah.
Bernie. Man, I had so much fun. Bernie was like, not even, man. We'll sit around the table, man. We'll be talking and just jabbing it up. And then they'll say action. We'll go right into our scene, man. And then they'll say cut. And everybody, we start talking again like it's just, like we just their friends, man. You know, it's 4 poker buddies. It was so easy doing it until we had somebody that throws us off. Like Sugar Shane was a guest one time, Sugar Shane Mosley, and he was sitting at the card table with us. And it was written for Sugar Shane Mosley. This be Sugar Shane Mosley. You ain't got to act. This be Sugar Shane Mosley. Man, all he had to do, he had a line to say, "Where you guys staying at the Mandalay Bay?" He couldn't do it. He was like, "Where you guys staying at the Mandalay Bay?" He kept doing it different ways, man.
Trying to get his takes in.
My boy got upset. He said, Sugar. He said, "Man, it's you, man." I said, "Hold up, dude. Sugar will still knock your ass out, man. You
better watch your mouth."
So
exactly. And Bernie,
got to eat cake to chew the scene. Let him do it.
And you know, Bernie being messy because Bernie thought that De La Hoya beat Sugar Shane and that first fight. So Bernie was like, he said, "I bet you I tell him. I bet you I tell him." I said, "I bet you won't." So Bernie, Sugar, hey man, De La Hoya beat you, man. De La Hoya beat you, man.
I got a New York fan here. His name is JD.
New York.
JD, wake up.
Oh,
he's old.
Wake up, old man. Turn your mic on.
I go back to the days way back. I'm 46 years old, so I've been around the block a couple of times. Grew up in New York. Totally went to every comic show, Comic Strip Live, and everything in New York. Watched you back in those days when it was you had like your 10 minutes on top of with the screen that they were doing. But I will say this: my favorite 3 comedians I ever saw were Bernie Mac was number 1 live. Bernie Mac live is nothing like you think he is. Bernie Mac live is a truth-speaking person.
Yes, sir.
Totally truth-speaking. And if I always put up there, I never got a chance to see Eddie do stand-up when he was younger, but I got a chance to see Charlie do stand-up.
Right.
And he was, he woke. I'm from Rockville Center, Long Island, so that's right the town over from where Eddie grew up. So they were talking about the same rec center that I grew up in.
Right.
And Charlie was telling the story about getting when it was like a bunch of the kids from the South Side, the hockey players, me, and throwing the basketball in and watching these guys how to shoot. And the best line he ever had was, they could shoot free throws day and night. They just know how to move without the ball. They would sit there, I'll shoot free throws all day. And then when Charlie passed a couple of years ago, but I remember going to the rec center to it. I flew back to New York to visit my family. They were dedicating something to my my late brother on the rec center wall, and Charlie was there, and everybody else goes, "Man, your brother can play."
Yeah.
He said he could play. I'm like, well, he was a good basketball player, so I was.
Oh, yeah, that's cool, man. I never met Charlie, man.
The other ones I met of that era, my stepbrother is Tom McTiernan, the comedian. So he opened up for a lot of those
right
back in the 80s, 90s.
Right.
When
Yeah,
everyone
man. What you talking about seeing me in New York on the screen? That was like must have been when I first started, man.
that was the best era still to me.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. Yeah.
I mean, going to see any one of the Wayans brothers would be playing at Comic Strip Live for $15.
Right.
Big, it was still the Comic Strip Live is where you really wanted to get your chops. You know, it's one of the things where, yeah, you can read a script, you can do what you got to do, but if you want to stand out on your own, go to Comic Strip Live in New York or go to one of the other places in New York and see if you really have chops. And if you had chops, you did Comic Strip Live. And to give credit to one guy, I remember he was young and little, and I know he's famous now, but Kevin, what's his name?
Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart. He was every time I went there with every date I ever took. He was always busting his chop before the screen. I talked to him like, do you do this every night? He goes, I'm here 3 nights a week, 3 times a night.
Is that right?
And he busted his tail.
Yeah,
and
man.
I kept thinking like, you know, that stand-up gig is
a grind, man. It's a grind. You got to be out there because you stop. You know, you'll be unbelievable. It is unbelievable how rusty you can get in your time, and you know it's gonna be probably coming back from this coronavirus, man. There's gonna be a lot of cats rusty, man, getting back out on stage, man.
Yeah, I mean, George Willis was one of those guys that I lived in an apartment on the east side of Manhattan, and he lived there in the same building. And he's like, George was a comedian that was well known in the late 80s, early 90s. His thing, I used to ask him when he would walk his dog, he'd come back in. I was like, are you going to do a set? He goes, I hope to do a set and get paid. Sometimes I don't get paid.
Oh, yeah, you don't, man. You don't.
Guys that are on Letterman or on
in New York, you can get paid. You can get at least you get something. But in LA, man, they might give you $25 because you know for gas money to come out. That's it.
Yeah, the New York comedy
Looking
scene.
for a handshake and a hot dog.
That's it, man. That's it.
I mean, when I was 19, 20, 21, dating.
That was a long time ago, wasn't it, JD?
That was 25 years ago. I would drive up and park my car, and I parked. Never forget it, for the Comic Strip Live. And I guess I parked too close to a hydrant, and my car got towed. And I'm on this date with this girl that I was so excited to be on a date with her. I go out, we go see. It's Paul Mooney, and if you don't know who Paul Mooney is, he's just one of those guys.
Everybody knows who Paul Mooney is.
Yes, sir.
You know, one of those guys that you just have to see live, just to experience.
That was Richard Price's sidekick.
His intelligence alone makes you don't want to debate him. You want to listen to him.
Yep.
Whether or not you agree with him or not, it never mattered. He just.
JD, I got to ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Did you really say 1921? Fuck, are you old?
Not 1921. I'm not that old.
You said 1921. I'm sitting there at the backstage. I heard Reggie even looked. I see Reggie look like
I never forgot.
He looked like a puppy dog. He turned his head. He was like,
Reggie's gonna appreciate this. Reggie's gonna appreciate this.
You said 1921.
All right.
You went back into the whirring 20s on your man.
Reggie,
I'm sorry.
You got any great heckler stories? I know you said, you got to keep your steel sharp. It's a battle tested thing. You go out there and you're going to hit your marks and your timing, and you're going to work your audience. But if you're not up to snuff, the crowd will come after you. You got any good heckler stories?
The worst hecklers thing I ever had was, man, when I was first starting out, trying to do comedy. Because J. Anthony Brown got me started doing comedy. So when I first started doing the comedy, I had to open up for Biggie, man. And
who?
For Biggie, the Notorious B.I.G.
Really? For Biggie Small.
Yeah, open up for Biggie.
Man, that crowd don't want to hear jokes. They want to hear beats.
That's what I was saying. That's what I'm saying. So rap crowd don't want to hear no jokes. So the promoter, I was in the back, promoter counting my money. He was like, boom, boom, boom. He said, hey man, let's go out there and do 5 minutes. And call them up. I say 5 minutes. I say, man, let me do at least about 20. He stopped counting, looked at me. Okay, and he gave me money, right? So I went out there. I did the bruh man thing. They was like, they clapping, man. Then all of a sudden, 2 dudes say, man, bring Biggie on the stage. I didn't know how to deal with hecklers at the time. So I'm going back and forth with them. And I got personal. I said, man, we could take it outside. We could take it outside right now. Man, about 5,000 people at North Carolina A&T. I just heard boos rain down. Boo! Like, oh, that's the worst. That was the worst, man. It was Biggie, Lil Kim, and Lost Boys and Junior Mafia, man.
Man, well, if at least your first time getting heckled, it was thousands of people booing you. It can't get worse. It's all uphill from there.
Hey, you're not really a comic until you get booed.
There you go.
You got to get booed at least one time in your life in order to be a comedian.
That's what we always say in this YouTube internet game. You don't matter until you got thumbs down on your video.
Hey, man.
Haters
Well,
make.
yeah, that's it. Well, I follow up with a question. I definitely want to hear it from you. So let's be honest. It's been one of those eras where stand-up comedians were running the show, getting their own TV shows. Martin, like you said, Martin Lawrence got his, and Seinfeld got his, and then all those other ones. Although every show pretty much was based on a comedian presence. I think we're in a new revelation now where I think that's what we need is we need less Mad Men, more comedic talent, more Martin, more original Martin.
Right.
Three seasons of Martin are rival. Like they say, the first 2 seasons of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air were better than anything Will Smith has ever done since. I don't care. I'm not telling you right now. Will Smith was better on that show because he was himself. And that's
JD, you're 100% right. You need Martin before he went crazy and went in the middle of the street.
No, see, Martin Lawrence is a good man. He's a good man. He loves Jesus. He's a good man.
Well, wasn't that a trainee?
But he was smart after he did that. After he did the gun thing, went in the middle of the street. He got a movie deal.
He did get a movie deal.
You ever see me running down the street in Hollywood, butt naked with a lit candle sticking out my ass? I'm just trying to get paid, baby.
Reggie, tell the fans where they can find you. Let us know.
On Instagram, _5th flow, number 5 and FLO. And
Reggie, if you come to Pittsburgh, if you go to JD, where are you at?
Omaha, Nebraska.
If you go to Omaha, Nebraska, you got a steak dinner on us.
My man. I'm holding
come to civilization in Baltimore. I'll take care of you. All right.
Baltimore. I'm holding to you, brother.
Towns.
Reggie, I love you, brother. Thank you so much for coming on.
You, and
I appreciate
y'all take it easy, man. Thanks a lot.
Thanks so much, Reggie.
See you, man.
Peace.
All right. Let me jump on. Yeah, I've got a very special guest, and I'm waiting for freaking the great legend to start the Comic Core Friday night show. It's 10:03. Oh, hold on. JD, I'm gonna have to put you in the background for 1 second. All right, my man.
Wow.
Okay.
Oh.
All right, put him on here. Legend, you ready to do this?
I'm ready to do it. We're live here, fans. Mainframe Comic-Con, the kickoff show. Chad, let's introduce our next guest.
Well, let me hit the the intro. Ready?
Yeah, do it.
Let's do it.
Hey, yo, what's poppin'? It's Friday night. We're all back. It's regular. Carson, I haven't seen you in a minute. You look like you haven't been sitting there for a little bit. We got the chat going on. We got 30 people watching. We got Drew Manchu, Cat Ren Figures.
Hi.
We got Mark BKR right eating some food. And we've got the legend, the 16-time. Oh, yeah.
We got Bob World, baby. Bob World, too.
We got the legend. But guess what, guys? We've got the Horror King.
3-time Ring of Honor 6-man champion. What's going on, Vinny? How are you today?
That's what's happening. I'm good. How are you guys?
I have been
great.
watching you, dude. I'm telling you,
This is a cool little thing you guys have put together here. This is pretty sweet.
We are flying by the seat of our pants, bro.
Thanks for having
Thank
me.
you for even being on this with us. I'm a 12 pack in, and I just watched you last night. So
great.
What's going on, my man?
Not much, man. Just being in lockdown like everybody else, I guess. Just kind of going more insane than I actually already am. So I'm just trying to, take it day by day and trying to keep myself busy. And it sucks because, there's no shows for us, and it's tough to put out content for us right now. And it's just, just being out of the ring in general. I feel like the first fall I'm gonna take when I go back, my body's gonna explode. You know what I mean? Because
we actually just had this conversation with the last guest about he was a comedian, how you need to keep your sword sharp in order to be battle ready. And I think that the professional wrestling game's got to be very much the same thing.
Yeah, it's crazy, man, and it's like it's so. I mean, I guess my shit is just kind of out of whack because I'm taking this time right now to get into better shape. So I actually hired a couple trainers for some home workouts and
better shape. Come on, man, you're shredded.
Yeah, no, I'm not actually, and it's so funny because you thought I would have worked harder when stuff was happening, but now that nothing's happening, I guess that's the motivation for when I come back. Come back feeling better. But we do have a school located not too far from me, and I'm probably gonna have unlock it one day and just run around in the ring by myself just to keep my endurance up because man, it's tough because it's not. Back in the day when I'd wrestle locally, you'd have guys that are not really trying to make something out of this and just do it for fun. But, when you're in there with world-class athletes, it's a lot harder to kind of keep up. So you got to keep yourself kind of conditioned to do that. And it sucks right now, man. It's real tough,
Are you guys for Ring of Honor not doing any empty arena tapings at the moment?
Not at the moment. It's been talked about, been brought up about the cinematic style matches, but even with that, there's only so many guys that can kind of get away with doing that style of match. You know what I mean? Whether they have a distinct character that could kind of fit the realm of that, where you could probably do myself and Matt Taven in that style of match, or the Briscoes could probably do something on their farm with that kind of style of match. It's just it takes a certain, I guess, person or story to kind of do those kind of things. So we're just kind of waiting to see if that's a route we're going to take, which I'd be all for that. But yeah, man, nothing so far,
So with the COVID-19 crisis and the pandemic, it's kind of put a damper on a lot of the professional wrestling industry because just the nature of the product, it's a live show in front of a crowd. The WWE's done their studio style matches. AEW's done their empty arena with the staff surrounding the ring, which to different varying effects. There is also, but at this point, things are kind of stopped. But just prior to this, right around the turn of the year, wrestling was in a full resurgence in the fact that there were more opportunities to watch wrestling than ever before. Not only did you have the big wig WWE network giant $1 billion worldwide deal, you have this new international company in New Japan reaching out to be more American. You got AEW starting. You got MLW, who's got a fantastic YouTube presence. Ring of Honor has been going strong as kind of the number 3 promotion in the country forever, in a way that everybody that makes it in American professional wrestling kind of comes through Ring of Honor. Is that a legacy that you plan to help build in Ring of Honor? Do you have greater aspirations to be more of an international star? Where do you see yourself moving forward in wrestling, say next 5-10 years?
Right now, I mean, my heart is obviously with Ring of Honor. I had a very hard time, and if you want, we could talk about it, but I had a very hard time coming up in the wrestling industry. And Ring of Honor being the place that gave my very first opportunity on a bigger stage, I'll always appreciate that and be very grateful for that, because there was a time in my career when I first started where I was basically like the laughing stock of the area of New England, man. Like I had little to no training almost, and I was just doing local shows and stuff. So like Ring of Honor, giving me those chances, after doing the tryouts and stuff like that, like that I'll always be loyal to them, just as much as they've been loyal to me. But as far as goals go, like I've always wanted to be the Ring of Honor World Television Champion. I just feel like what I have to offer as far as what I'm doing, I feel like the Horror King would be a very good television champion, because it's a very like TV driven, character. So I just feel like that's a goal that I have right now set in my mind. Or if myself and Bateman can become the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions,
that would be cool.
Those are kind of like goals, the next step I'd like to take, but I mean, obviously I think every wrestler's dream is to become the world heavyweight champion wherever they are, so I got to see Matt Taven win at Madison Square Garden. That was pretty cool, and then I had to cut his head open because it pissed me off, but then so those are the moments that you kind of like strive for, and you hope to kind of be in that same position one day, and that's where the hard work comes in, and it just it never stops. It's like when you get there, it's like, okay, finally I'm with Ring of Honor, and then just like that's when the real work starts. That's when you got to really climb that ladder, because again, you're in there with some of the top professionals around the entire world. So it's like you really got to do something to stand out or make yourself different, to kind of keep building that brand or whatever it is.
Especially in working the Northeast Indies.
Yeah, and like, man, there's so many guys that have come out of this area as far as the Northeast goes. Myself, Taven, Bennett, Tommaso, Ivar, and WWE. Like, so many of us have come out of Oni. We've all kind of came up together at some point, and it was cool at the time because it was like a hungry group of guys that just wanted to succeed in what we love to do. You know what I mean? So like we all had each other to kind of push each other, and it was awesome, man. And you had Bennett, who kind of took off and he went to Ring of Honor. Then Taven followed closely after that. They formed the Kingdom, and at that time when they formed the Kingdom, I was actually always in the car with Mike, Maria, and Taven, traveling to all these shows just to get my face out there. And like those guys are already like pure athletes. I was never really an athlete growing up. I didn't play football or basketball, but I loved pro wrestling. So I had to kind of I had to learn how to be an athlete, I guess I could say, through the training with Spike and stuff like that. So I was a little like late bloomer, compared to those guys who picked it up, very naturally, just because they were in sports already and they had that athletic gift. So, spending all that time, like for 5 hours, 3 times a week, just training at the Lockup Academy, kind of taught me to become athletic and kind of, adjust to everything. And, and riding with them, just showing my face to Ring of Honor. It's just, it's crazy how many guys have come out of the Northeast, region. It's cool.
I feel like that's a perfect transition to a question we have in our chat right now. One of our loyal viewers, Chris Barrett, asks, and this has to be something that was big for you. You said yourself you were into pro wrestling, not a natural athlete. You had to make the athlete part happen. He wants to know, who was your favorite wrestling idol as a kid?
Oh, okay. So as a kid, little kid, if we're going like 5 years old, when I first fell in love with wrestling,
bring us through the entire experience if you want, man.
So I remember, God, I just remember seeing the Warrior the first time. I think it was the Hogan versus Warrior match at WrestleMania, and just everything about the Warrior, the colors and different gear and the face paint and just the energy the Warrior had. I just loved it, man. And just I remember we would go to the Providence in Rhode Island, the Providence Dunkin' Donuts Center, the Providence Civic Center at the time. My grandmother lived not too far, and my whole entire family, my father, my aunts, my cousins, we would park at her apartment and walk down to the Civic Center. And I remember walking down there, being in my full Ultimate Warrior getup, man, face paint, like arm tassels, the whole 9 yards. And I remember sitting on my cousin Tony's shoulders, and it was the Warrior versus Undertaker in a body bag match. And Undertaker put the Warrior in the body bag, zipped it up, and Ultimate Warrior just ripped out of the body bag, and the crowd went nuts, man. And I was on his shoulders, just jumping, and it was just like that moment. I was just like, man, like this is so cool, you know. Like, and we went to every event that they held, house shows, television, whatever they did. We always did the same route. It was like 10 of us, family, just met up. And my aunt Donna was actually the hardcore wrestling fan. She loved Bret Hart. You know, God rest her soul, but she got me into wrestling. And you know, I loved it ever since. But when I really wanted to decide to become a wrestler was I think it was either WrestleMania 2000 or Royal Rumble 2000, the Hardys versus Dudleys. And when I saw Jeff Hardy, I wanted to become a wrestler. He's the reason why I decided to pursue this. So I just thought it was just like, you know, they brought that totally different style to wrestling when that Attitude Era hit, and just all the stuff and the crazy stuff that they would do in those matches. I was just like hooked, and just, you know, and he kind of had that same vibe that the Warrior had, as far as like that energy and just that excitement that he kind of gave off, and that connection with the crowd. And I just that was when I was like, yep, I want to do this. And I started jumping off the roof in my father's shed in the backyard. And like, man, we would hold all these shows at my parents' place. They still live there to this day, actually. And we would have like, it was like 8th, 9th grade, and we'd have like, God, just people in our backyard, you know what I mean? And like, I remember one time my dad built us a little, so that answers the question. It's Ultimate Warrior and Jeff Hardy, but just to keep this story going a little bit longer.
Go for it, man. Loving it.
My father built us a little 5x10 ring, and it was like he did PVC pipe, plywood on top of cinder blocks. Like, he's, you know what I mean? He's gonna kill his kids with this ring with no give. But on top of cinder blocks, he put a little mat down, this little canvas, and we had this like rope going around. And then so we had that 5x10. Then I started getting older, and then we got the trampolines. Then the high school that we went to, which is behind my parents' house, it's literally, you can spit and hit the baseball field. There was these mats where they use the what's that sport where they put the stick and they jump over the
pole vault.
Big bar there, and there's pole vault.
Yeah.
And there's a big crash pads, and they're stacked on the outside. Now, I was under the impression that they were getting rid of them, but someone later said I think they were just putting them outside. But we put those bitches on skateboards, and we rolled them all the way to my parents' house. And we made our own ring, and it was like 3 of them. So now it's like 18x20 in this giant. So now I'm just popping these things on my father's grass, and he's like, bullshit. Because now it's like we got this big giant, you know, ring basically, and we're using the deck as the turnbuckle, and he's got a shed that I'm jumping off. And I was just like, I did some real crazy shit, man. Like, when I was a younger kid, that like probably my body hurts more from doing that shit than
yeah. We used to hit each other with light bulb tubes in the backyard, thinking we were hardcore.
Right.
Like, you know, you're just a 13-year-old dumbass.
I gotta ask.
Yeah.
Seawood 19. What do you think?
Oh man, I'm curious to hear about this Horror King character you've crafted for Ring of Honor. I don't get a chance to watch too much Ring of Honor. So what goes in to making the Horror King?
You know, it's funny, man, because
can I put the picture up?
My biggest problem.
Do you mind if I put the picture up?
Oh yeah, man. Yeah. Oh yeah, man. Go for it.
Horror King. Hell yeah.
You know, my biggest, there I am, smoking a cigar. Yeah, there I am. But my biggest problem, man, throughout my time kind of like toiling on the indies and stuff, was always like, you know, I could do the stuff in the ring, but it was like, who am I? You know what I mean? Like, what's the hook here? What's the catch? Like, if you're not like the best wrestler, like a Jonathan Gresham who's phenomenal at wrestling, like if you're not like that guy, then like what is it that you have to offer? Like what's the character? What's the hook? What's a brand or something that you can get, you know, people to relate to or to invest in? And for a while, I was just going through all these different looks, man, and just kind of like bouncing around and just never kind of figuring it out. And one day, I was sitting in my living room, and my wife and I, we love horror, man. I've loved horror movies since I've loved wrestling, and like my mother is the one who got me into that. I was watching like movies that I shouldn't have been watching at 5 years old. It's probably what corrupted me to this extent. You know what I mean? But like I've seen them all. Like our version of hide and seek as kids was our cousins would hide, and I'd dress up as Michael Myers or Jason, and we'd find them.
Oh, hell yeah!
You know,
way to do it.
Yeah. So that was our manhunt and whatnot. But I never thought to bring it into wrestling. I always separated my life with wrestling, always thinking that like, okay, this is wrestler Vinny, this is, Vinny real life, and not blending the two and not realizing that, no, that's who you are. You know what I mean? And it happened one day. We were sitting in the living room, and this was like 2017-ish. And I was already with Ring of Honor with the Kingdom, and I was doing my thing, and the Kingdom was fine, but it was still like, I got to figure out my brand, because when this Kingdom thing is over, I'm just going to be Vinny. Like, the Kingdom is what's making me right now, and that's great, and it was all good, but like, what am I? What is my brand? What do I have to offer? So we're sitting there, and like I said, we collect a bunch of horror movie screen use props, and we have a ton of them in our house. Like, we got the screen use Lost Boys jackets. That's probably my favorite piece that we've got. And we've got a Halloween original mask that was used in the original film. It's like kind of rotted and stuff, but we still got that. But we got a bunch of stuff. And she said, why don't you wear a mask or something? Why don't you do something horror related in wrestling? You love this shit so much. Why don't you do that? And bang, that's when like a light bulb went off, and I said, that's a great idea. Why don't I try this? So I was on my way to Northeast Wrestling in Connecticut, and I actually wore what I shouldn't have done this, but I wore one of the Lost Boys jackets, and I got like a Jason mask. It was a good prop, but I got it from like one of those like comic stores or whatever, and I wrote like Insanity across it because that's what I was doing at the time. Now this is just like getting the wheels turning, so I'm not using my original stuff, but this is just kind of testing the waters, I guess you could say. So I came out with Northeast Wrestling with the mask and the jacket, and the response from the crowd was a little bit different than usual. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't just like, oh, here's Vinny, okay, good, we know he's good and stuff, but it gave them something more to look at, something more to be entertained by, and something visual that they could be familiar with. So I was like, once I heard the crowd that night, that's when I was like, okay, I'm doing this. And then I started evolving it. And now it's evolved. I've had plenty of different masks. I created my own version of it in Ring of Honor. I did the red balloons. And I'm not even a fan of it. It's just the red balloons is such a cool visual of them coming out from underneath the ring and just floating up in the ceiling that it was like, well, hell, man, it's getting a response. So I'll just use it for like a, here he comes kind of thing, and it just kind of kept evolving, and now it's evolved into just me, like a version of me turned up times 10, which is kind of like more now on like the page of like Otis Driftwood, Charlie Manson kind of vibe, where it's just like my Italian temper that gets heated up in real life turned up, but now the look is kind of evolved into more of a humanized version of me, I guess you could say. So now it's kind of just, that's where I'm at now, man. It's just it's cool though, because like we got Bill Mosley involved in our group for Ring of Honor. He's pretty excited to be on board with us, and he's going to be doing some stuff with us going forward once this is all over. So that's a really cool thing to, because I'm a huge fan of those movies. Devil's Rejects is
So I guess my question to you, Vinny, is I want you to break kayfabe here in a second, and let's talk about the industry as a whole.
Okay.
So recently, earlier in the week, WWE had a massive layoff. How do you think competition, i.e. AEW, i.e. Ring of Honor, is going to affect the WWE in the upcoming months?
how is I'm sorry, you kind of like went.
I'm sorry.
Towards the end, I apologize.
How do you feel that the current competition is going to affect the WWE? Do you see it as going back to more of a Monday Night Wars, or do we see it maybe transitioning to even further back to when it was segmented to the districts?
You mean the territories?
I don't know, man.
Territories.
Right, territories. I don't know, man. That's that's tough to say. You know what I mean? And like as far as that, like, the layoffs go, I felt really bad. That was a really good situation for all those talented people. But the thing about it is, there's so many places for those talented people that they can go, and they definitely will go. Every single one of them are talented enough to go anywhere that they want. But I don't know, man. That's a tough thing to say currently. You know what I mean? I don't.
And you said something right there in your statement that I think I don't think that the current temperature of the YouTube communities know that they only see it as a big one. Growing up for me, it was a big 2, then it became a big 2.5 with EC Dub.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think that the people as a whole actually see the territories and how it was. And can you talk to that fact of how important Ring of Honor is in the current state of wrestling?
Yeah, man. Ring of Honor is very important. I mean, wrestling right now, as you guys said earlier, with it being so, like, before this all happened, with wrestling, being at kind of a high point and having so much availability to all these different shows and stuff, like, it gives all the talent places to go. You know what I mean? Like, Ring of Honor is I think Ring of Honor, it's unfortunate this happened, because Ring of Honor was actually turning around, and kind of like we were really kind of on an upstride here, like before all these shows got canceled and stuff. So I was really excited and looking forward to seeing like what Ring of Honor was going to do next. And it's just, the locker room was just so hungry to kind of keep moving forward with all the new stuff that we had going on. We had those awesome shows planned with the past versus present, with all the the talent from the past, like wrestling the talent from the present time, and just you had that, and the big anniversary show. There was just so much that was going to happen before this all went down. But I think, again, like with Ring of Honor, it's more important. Like you said, I also grew up on just the one big one. You know what I mean? I didn't really know. I thought Vince McMahon was going to walk into my backyard and hire me. You know what I mean? But as I got kind of on the Northeast region, got familiar with more wrestling, like I realized that, like, that's not the only place to go. There's so much available, especially now. You have Ring of Honor, you have AEW, you have MLW, like you mentioned. There's just so many places to go. You have Impact, so many places for talent to go to kind of, show their skill and what they have to offer on a bigger stage.
That's what it's all about. How about this? I was wondering, what is one guy you would say has been your kind of rival opponent, or maybe a good rivalry you got going on?
I would say the current one that I'm in right now, Matt Taven.
Taven, man.
We trained together.
Mm-hmm.
We met each other before we started training with Spike. So we met each other like 12, 13 years ago. And we were wrestling at a local VFW in Fairhaven, Massachusetts. We kind of hit it off. We got along really well. And then he went off to Spike Dudley's school a year ahead of me. And he was like, hey, you got to come over here. Like, this is like, he's showing me some stuff that like we didn't even know. And like, just like, kind of showing him the correct way and having the proper training to kind of give him the tools to go and do what he wants to do.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like the champion of this EFW, and everybody thought I was great there. So like, why leave that? You know what I mean? Like everybody thinks it's great. Right? So you know, but I'm just a young 20-year-old kid, 19-year-old, 20-year-old kid that doesn't really know better at this time. You know what I mean? I don't know what's right, what's wrong, or what could be better, or whatever. You know, you're high on your own shit at that time. So it took him about a year, and he kept texting me to come and come and come. And then I went there, and I was blown away. So then me and him trained together for like years, and it'd be like 3 times a week for 5 hours at a time. But like we've had matches, like we did the Kowalski Cup tournament for Top Rope Promotions in Fall River, Mass. In 2010, it was me and him in the finals. He won the Kowalski Cup that year. We've done a bunch of tournaments. I won it in 2012, but we've had a very back and forth. Like we're chaotic tag team champions. Then we wrestled each other in Top Rope. It's just been a career build of just this like back and forth to teaming and hating each other and teaming and just this, you know, back and forth kind of thing. But I'd say that's probably my biggest rivalry within, like, you know, the wrestling, you know, world.
That is so freaking
awesome.
To date. And you are close to the same age and everything. And like, you know, even though once y'all finish up your current business, you know, y'all got going on in the ring, you can go on maybe even 3, 4, 5 years down the line and always know you can work with that guy and you can damn get people off their asses, man. That's what it's all about, man. So
yeah,
freaking
man. I mean,
hats off to you there, dude.
And he's a talented dude too. So.
That's awesome. How about you, Carson? Seatwood19, the host of Mainframe Comic-Con. What do you think about? We got him here, man. Vinny, man, the horror king.
Man, I don't know, Chad. I think Chad's got something to ask here. There we go. Here we go.
Oh God,
Chad,
your camera's not on. We can't see your gimmick.
He's got a ponytail.
Okay,
he's doing it.
Like it's getting worse.
What are you doing? As the day progresses,
I can't. Are you sitting in the Millennium Falcon? Where are you sitting?
No, I'm in the Sanctorum.
Is that Dr. Strange? I can change it for you, Vinny. Hold on. Let me change this.
No, I like it.
He's gonna teleport.
I like it. Don't change that.
No, I got to put a brick wall because I'm extreme.
I love
it. Vinny, I want to thank you for coming on here first off. Right.
Thanks for having me.
I will give out shout outs to some people that were too good for us.
No, don't even mention people who are too good for us, Chad. Come on.
Like
we're
Sammy
too good
Guevara?
for Vinny, Chad.
Oh, okay. Darby Allin.
We had some
Kurt
booking
Angle
issues earlier.
But anyway. Hey, listen. Your dream match right now in the current state of wrestling, who is it? Who's it going to be? Right now, if you could, well, let me ask you.
Screw right now, Vinny. All time.
Vinny.
All time.
If you could lay the smacketh down on some Rudy 2 candy ass.
You're going to drop the Rock at WrestleMania. You're going to go back and fight Harley Race,
Smoky
Bingo Hall.
3 minutes of pain, brother.
Who's it going to be? Dream opponent.
Dream opponent. Christ, man. All right. So right now,
Vinny, this is my best Paulie impersonation.
There's so many.
And I don't even owe you any money yet.
Don't worry, you owe me money.
There's so many, but I would love to. I'd love to have a match with Chris Jericho.
Oh my God! Yes,
freaking cool, dude.
Chris Jericho is awesome, man. I always thought he was awesome, and obviously Jeff Hardy was another. But I did wrestle Jeff Hardy in the main event from Northeast Wrestling. So
that's awesome.
Yes, man. You got to wrestle him in.
Yeah, man.
So, Vinny, where are you from, my man?
I'm from Warwick, Rhode Island, just a little city outside Providence.
When's the next time ROH is going to be in the the City of Champions. The Steel City.
We ran. Oh, Steel City. Oh, we usually perform over at is it Stage AE that they
Oh, yeah, that's right. It's right next to the. I don't know if you got to see it. That big building that has 6. Wait, hold on. 6-time Super Bowl champions.
Get that ass on the floor and do the spin-a-rooney then.
Yes. And I actually love that building, and that's actually the building that I cut Matt Taven's head open.
Oh yeah.
So breaking news right here first on the Comic Core Mainframe Comic Con. Vinny, the Horror King, admits that he was trying to recreate Mass Transit Institute. Yes,
God.
No,
no.
New Jack is the best wrestler of all time.
No, settle down.
What?
I always like
Settle
Razor.
down.
Razor Ramon's one of my favorites. You know,
Vinny
Razor
has been
Ramon?
on this dark
Yeah.
side of the ring kick lately. Forgive him.
Honestly,
Oh,
New Jack is probably the best
That's an
person
interesting
to
show,
get
man. That's a wild show.
I also like Kevin Von
Razor
Erich.
Ramon. My brother loved Razor Ramon.
Yeah, Razor Man. Razor
Kevin Von
Ramon.
So
Erich,
do you
yeah,
collect
that's a good one.
figures, man? Do you collect figures?
Oh, wrestling figures.
I don't, man. I don't collect figures, but I'll tell you this: when I was a younger kid, I had all the figures, the Hasbro, the LIJ, like the big rubber
Yeah,
ones,
those
the
were
big ring and
good.
stuff. I had all that stuff, man. But I
Vinny.
used to get pissed off though because like their paint would wear off their toes. Like, the guy would lose his boots in 3 days.
Vinny, next time you come to the Steel City, the City of Champions, everybody else has agreed to it, so I'm sure you're going to. I will buy you a steak dinner. You hit me up.
I'm down.
I know your agent. I will make it happen.
I'm down. Have you guys gone to the Pittsburgh shows, like when we usually run there?
Funny story, Vinny.
Have
I
you
was in
Yeah.
Baltimore. I think it was April of 2012 when you made your television debut and got squashed by Rhino.
Oh my god!
I was
That's
that show.
awesome that you were there.
Yeah, man.
That's awesome.
I didn't have
30
great
seconds.
seats, but it was. There's no when they ran that building back. There's no bad seats in the house, really. Really cool spot where they were shooting the TV. The Burns, yeah.
Yeah,
man.
Burns, yeah, man. That was cool. That was the first time I was ever on any Ring of Honor show right there.
That was my first Ring of Honor show, too.
Yeah, and I was like, when they called me, they were like, it's going to be you and Rhino. And I was like, holy shit. Like, what an opportunity this is, man. Like, I haven't even been there yet. Yeah, me and Rhino is sick. And then I get there. They're like, yeah, it's going to be 30 seconds. It's just going to gore you.
That was great.
For me,
you sold it like a champ.
It crushed. Yeah, it crushed my soul though, because I
looked like it crushed your spleen.
I'm gonna have a battle with Rhino. I went there thinking like, oh shit, I'm gonna show what I got, and then they're like, yeah, 30 seconds score, and I was just like, okay, it's gonna be the best score you've ever seen.
It actually was really good. I had seen him in a couple of other shows previous, and I seen him gore a bunch of guys, and it looked really, really freaking cool when he gored the shit out of you. I'm just gonna say.
Oh yeah, man. He gored me out of my boots, that's for sure. But that was funny because like I was so I was excited, but I was nervous because like I know how those Ring of Honor crowds are, man. And like I go out there and I had like again I wasn't really had anything figured out at the time, and I had like my tassels on my arms, and I watch it back and I'm like, what the fuck am I wearing? Because it's like it's just not me, but I was just trying different things, you know what I mean? I'm just a young dude in wrestling just trying to figure myself out. But I look back at that, man, and I was just like, man, no wonder why people hated me. Like, you know what I mean? I still do, a lot of them, but like, it is what it is.
Hey man, they can love you, they can hate you. At least there's a reaction. That's what matters.
Yeah, man. That's cool that you're there though, man. That's real cool.
Yeah, I went to like the first whole run of those Do Burn shows that they did back then, and then it just got to a point where I couldn't keep taking off on Saturdays. So,
oh, look at that picture of me laughing my ass off. That's cool.
Just chatting with Rhino in the airport.
I'm sorry. How did
he was on the campaign
Legend
trail?
take that down? Legend, take that down.
I'm not even in that. I'm not even in that area.
So you were there. So were you there for Taven had that breakout match with Mike Mondo?
The Mondo match. Yeah, I was there for that.
Mondo.
Yeah. That's the match that kind of broke Taven out at that time where he was. That's kind of what gave him the what's the word I'm looking for? Like evolve to the next
kind of his springboard to the next level.
Right.
You know, the cool thing about those Ring of Honor shows is, and it's got to be cool as a performer as well, is that some of the Ring of Honor fans are just coming out for a local wrestling match. They're like, there's wrestling here, I'm gonna go see wrestling. But I would say a good 60 to 70% of that Ring of Honor crowd are guys that before you're on that next level will put you on that next level. I think that's what's so great about the Ring of Honor crowd is they're smart to. I wouldn't say they're not the big smart mark internet fans, but a lot of them are. But they're fans who are aware of the up and comers and want to be on the forefront.
I mean, you guys
wrestling hipsters, man.
You've worked with some of the guys that are in Ring of Honor. Let's not sugarcoat it. You have some of the creme de la creme. You've got the Jerry Lynns. You've had the young bucks have been there. I mean,
I've wrestled them many times. They're great.
Let's face it. Hardys have been there. Kenny Omega. Yep. You've got it all.
It's the road to success, really. It's paved right through Ring of Honor.
To keep it going. And Vinny, after watching hours of your film, if you're not on a Wednesday night or a Monday show within the next 2 years, I'm going to kick your ass.
I think that I see Vinny more in a feud for the world title there in Ring of Honor. To be honest, I think that there's, you've got the character, you got the look, you got the in-ring ability. You carry yourself with an air of confidence when you're in that ring, and you shoot you're
better
downplaying you're downplaying
you
yourself here.
You know what?
But we all know you're a star.
You want to know what's funny about this? You say the look. Since in this quarantine thing, I'm just so bored of mine that I almost considered cutting my hair.
Oh, don't do it.
But I'm absolutely not going to. But that's just me being bored. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just me being insane and bored.
I painted my toenails the other day.
Wait until there's no more hurdles in Ring of Honor. Sign an NXT contract, then cut your hair, and then everybody will blame Vince. That's how you do that.
Going back to your world title, talking about that, I had the match I had a match with Jay Lethal. It was kind of like a proving ground world title match with Jay Lethal in my hometown of Warwick, actually, when they came here, and that was the match that kind of right before I joined the Kingdom, kind of like, that match that kind of like I felt after kind of maybe cemented a spot for me in Ring of Honor. And Jay Lethal to me is absolutely one of the best wrestlers that I've ever seen.
One of the all-time greats in the Ring of Honor, and what a freaking
Legend
honor!
Got beat by Jay Lethal the other night
on the wrestling game. But dude, what an honor in front of your home crowd to face one of the legends, man. That's a Ring of Honor freaking legend.
Yeah, and he's
a legend everywhere, actually.
Can we arrange it that like there's a Comic-Con in Pittsburgh every now and then? Can we arrange that ROH is in town the same time as that Comic-Con, and we can be there when you get that strap? And let me. This is how I want you to do it. I want you to grab that belt and I want you to hold it up like this. Don't hold it up like this and flip it over your back like an asshole Rock. Just hold it up and just savor the moment, because we're gonna be sitting there chanting your name. The millions and millions. I mean, honestly, Vinny, thank you for joining us tonight. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Let these guys know where we can find you. And
you can find me on Twitter.
Shit, dude, Flair wants to shoot on you.
No.
Oh my God, it's happening. Can you get into character?
God.
Here. I don't know, but that's
All right, Vinny, Horror King, Flair's in the ring.
Don't fucking interrupt me again, Chad. Sit your
Tear
ass
his ass
down
up.
where you belong, in the kitty pen. Well, I talk to this man. Woo! We want to bring you back and want to ask you one question. Did I hear that guy right there challenge a nature boy? Honey, I'm
That's it. That's it. That's the end of it. You can't get any higher. You can't get any higher than that. You can't get any higher than that. I'm sorry. You can try all you want.
Oh God.
That was it. That was it. That was amazing.
I love it. Vinny, thank you, man. Let these guys know where you've been at, where we can find you.
Every girl,
Right. You can find me on Twitter at the Horror King VM, Instagram the Horror King Official, and Facebook the Horror King Official.
Brother,
And,
when you're in the Berg, look me up. I'll buy you a steak.
Oh, I love it. I remember that now. So when I come up
Trust
to you,
me,
you go,
Judy
"Well,"
has
so
my
when you
number,
sit-
and she is one of the scariest.
When I look you in the
individuals.
eyes and I say, "Where's that steak?" and you say, "What the fuck are you talking about?" I'm gonna be pretty upset.
We're going out, brother.
Come
Cheers
on.
to you. Good luck in the future. Thank you for coming on, my man.
Thanks, guys. Thank you very much for having me.
See you, my man.
Thank you.
Later.
The Horror King, man. The Horror King. Way to botch it, JD. Way to botch your chance.
No, it made it better. I mean, that was,
JD made it. JD.
it was so good. Like Shockmaster. Yeah.
This is Shockmaster of the Comic Court. JD Flair.
All right. I'm going to jump out of here because you guys have somebody that's been waiting and she's been painting.
Oh.
And that is the name that Gabby says. I can't think of a fucking rhyme.
What?
Legend.
Stop swearing.
Yep. Let's just do that.
Yeah.
Let's just do that.
There she is. Hey, Gabby, how are you?
Oh, Gabby, that
Wow.
storm is looking awesome.
Sorry for the blow, but you know.
it's so cool. That picture there, it reminds me of Storm coming down from the heavens to save the day.
Winds. Heed my call.
So good.
That is so dope.
Thank you.
Wow. Is that that's going to be up on the website, or is that a commission you're working on for somebody else?
This is going to be on the website once I'm finished with it.
That's amazing.
Nice.
Everybody hit up that website.
For I kind of got a commission going for someone else who's in the chat, who's in the panel, I should say.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
And there's nothing like a commission, and there's nothing like a man on a mission to get someone a commission. And if you didn't know what you got in store, you got to watch the Comic-Con. Mainframecomiccon.com, JD.
Guys, can I do something real quick? We got California Blends in here. She's still painting. Everybody, I'm about 45 minutes late on this, okay? I've got a giveaway that I've got to do. I'm going to spin this wheel of names. And you know what? I said they had to be in the chat to win. They don't have to be in the chat to win. Whoever we get on this wheel is going to be the winner. I will reach out and I will find them. Let's share my screen real quick. We got a Chrome tab here. Wheel of names, random picker. Just a heads up for this. I already shuffled these names, but we got Phil Ailing with over 30 entries. Backseat driver had over 30 entries.
I'm a backseat driver.
Yeah, he's a backseat driver. And our good friend Gray Matter Hulk missed out on the Hulk last giveaway. He's got about 30 entries in this darn thing as well. You know who's not going to win this time is C. Woodard, 19. Sorry, you're not on the wheel.
Goldberg-like streak going on these things.
Legends on the wheel. Cats on the wheel.
That's a lot of things.
I'm on the wheel?
Oh, yeah, you left a comment on one of my daily videos. It's really all you had to do. We're going to spin the wheel. Let's do it, folks.
I forgot to do that.
Who's the winner? Who is the...
That's all it spun?
Gray Matter Hulk.
Gray Matter Hulk, man.
I will reach out to Gray Matter Hulk. I will get his snail mail information.
He'll get that snail information.
He was
Gray
so
Matter Hulk.
excited.
Congratulations.
Why am I not on this stream?
You're back.
I got told something else.
Congrats again, Gray Matter Hulk.
Gray Matter Hulk, everyone.
Gray Matter Hulk, congratulations. But guess what, guys? I'm not going to bullshit anybody. In less than in a half an hour at 11:30, the Comic Core Friday night show is going to be leaving you, and you're going to be joined by none other than John's Comics with Kids, Greg, Rucka,
Nice.
and hold on,
Hodor.
John Suntress from Word Bubbles podcast. And he will take you into the evening, and that's when Mainframe will end. And then everybody come back tomorrow morning, 12:30, and then we get to see Carson with Kevin Eastman. Gabby, where are we at?
Yes. What are you making reference to as far as how long it's
How's the painting going?
How's the painting going? Let's see the progress.
I just added some more details to Storm. Just the base layers so far.
Nice.
And guess what, guys?
Together
Tomorrow
nicely.
and Sunday, Gabby is going to be available here exclusively on Mainframe Comic Con.
She was
If you haven't checked
spotlighted
it out.
tonight, but she's spotlighted throughout this entire weekend.
Yeah,
Well,
she is
also,
going to be around all weekend.
She is. Actually, I'm talking to another artist that was just text messaging me saying that they would be willing to. So we have a whole new artist as well. But Gabby, keep it up, baby. Keep it up, darling. I mean, my family loved you. My wife was standing over here saying, "Get her to draw more," and I'm like, I'm running out of money.
Gabby.
But I will say this. This, my wife, come here, Liz. Because Liz has been on camera many times. Come on.
She's better looking than you.
Way better looking than me.
I mean,
gorgeous.
Yeah.
Hey, AJD, is it true we marry up?
Oh, we totally marry up. But I want to shout out this. My daughter brought up this hand saying, "Oh, she's hugging Olaf like I do." And it's true. She always pats the head, and just that alone, to see a 4-year-old smile every morning when she says good morning to Elsa and Anna in my house. This is what I feel when I buy original art. I totally absorb it, and I can't thank Gabby enough for this. I really can't, because
It's a beautiful piece.
She's just perfect as
It is gorgeous.
the way it is. Yeah.
Hey, Chad, check your phone. You don't have to live. I just sent you a message.
Well, why everybody checks their phone? I want to check that
Chris
chat.
Barrett.
We got Chris Barrett. He's still hanging out in the chat. Oh, man, this guy's been sitting in front of the computer almost as long as I have. We got the Boyhood 7. Once again, big thanks for him for helping me kick off Mainframe Comic-Con tonight. We still got Herrenberg hanging out in the chat. IWK83 says, nice. We still got Comic Man Andy. I know he's almost, well, not really almost, but he's excited. Almost, not really, as I am, for Kevin Eastman tomorrow, 9 p.m.
Are
Eastern.
you talking from Cantu?
Yes, sir.
Send him a message. Tell him it's him and John
Tonight.
And we still got Scott Evans in the chat.
Can we announce that? Let's ask him.
You better talk to him about it. I don't know.
And Bob World, thumbs up for Bob World. That guy, amazing. He made another awesome bumper for Mainframe Comic-Con. Can't thank that guy enough for everything he does for the Comic Core. Anyway, it sounds like we may have some breaking news, and we have Liz is joining us here at Mainframe Comic-Con.
Thank God Liz is here.
How you
Liz,
doing?
your husband is so mean to me. He hollers at me and screams at me every day. I've been meaning to tell you this for months. He scares the bejesus out of me. But Liz, I love you.
But you love him though, right? Love to hate him.
Do you really hate me when I call as much as I do?
No, you just never call and talk to me, so I don't know what's up with that.
I don't get
If
your
he
number.
knew that was an
I've
option,
asked
if he knew that was an option, he would never call your husband.
Liz, if it makes you feel any better, he calls and asks to talk to my mom.
That doesn't make me feel better.
He wants me my mom's phone number.
I got a mom.
I got to shout out this comment in the chat. I absolutely love this guy. Aggressively relaxing says Frozen does not get enough credit for being batshit crazy high fantasy.
Yeah.
Frozen's good stuff.
Hey man, if you know if aggressively relaxed, and then enjoyed Frozen.
Okay.
There gotta be something there.
Don't let him make fun.
Frozen's some good stuff.
Chad's on the phone.
I freeze my pizzas.
You freeze your pizzas.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do want to get the cat Mark up there. What did you guys think of the Horror King?
He was awesome. He was really funny.
You like it, yeah?
I said it's been on Mark because of the con logo. Every time.
It's Conface Calhoun. He's the new Dick Tracy villain.
Matt Fraction's going to join us.
I loved all the names he was throwing out there. Bill Moseley. He was definitely shouting out some fantasticness throughout. I mean, he talked about 3 from Hell. He definitely showed a lot of love for the horror genre in general.
Oh, dude is really right up your alley, Cat.
Also, he looks really cool in his like full outfit and everything. He looked awesome.
He's got a good gimmick. And you know what? I was really happy about all the ways he was willing to open up and talk about his struggles in the business and where he sees himself. And I think we had some really good moments nerding out together. He was a really good guy.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
I'm excited to reach out to him to have him back on the show again.
We still got Chris Barrett. He says Chad is in boss Chad mode tonight. Liz, we got comics with Bueller in the chat. What's going on, Bueller? He's been doing like live streaming Q&As every single night this week. I think he's also joining us on Mainframe Comic-Con from what I've heard.
I hear that is the case. We're excited to have him.
Absolutely. And of course, Boy 7, man, that guy has been a trooper all day. So Drew, what are some of the what are you looking forward to this week? I don't know if I really got a chance to ask you earlier. What's one main thing you're looking forward to?
You know what? I'm looking forward to seeing these panels that I've worked with these creators to curate really get off the ground. And I'm excited to see what kind of response we can get from the community. And I hope that everybody enjoys the programming that we've been working to put together. I'm super stoked to hear from Kevin Eastman. That's going to be awesome. I'm super stoked to meet Megan and Donnie on Sunday. We all know how we love Donnie. That's going to be a really awesome thing there. And one of my favorite podcasts is the Elseworlds Exchange, and Joel and Sal are going to be doing a special Elseworlds Exchange from our channel. That's awesome. I'm super hyped for that. I'm super hyped for everybody that we've got involved, and I think that fans of the community, if you tune in at any given hour throughout this weekend, you're going to see faces that you know and love, and I think that we've done everything we can to kind of, in addition to making this about charity and about the LCSs and about the Red Cross and about the Hero Initiative, that more than anything, that this is a fan con for fans by fans, and this is a community thing. And I think that trying to get as many pieces of the community to fall into this project as possible is like.
And as far as community goes, we have comics with Bueller in the chat, who is interviewing who?
Chad, do you want me to pull up the schedule?
I think it's Andy Smith.
Andy Smith, who's a perfect
Sunday,
perfect subject for a Bueller interview. The guy does the best cable art that late 90s, early 2000s, X-Men Forever, worked with Chris Claremont, some really good stuff. I think you guys are going to be excited to talk with, to have Bueller talk with Andy Smith.
All right, so I got some announcements.
I'm going to eat a cracker, so I'm going to mute.
Yeah. So, Jeremy Hunn is
Han.
Jeremy Hahn.
Jeremy Hahn may be joining the After the Roundtable show with Matt Fraction,
What's up?
James Tinian, and
Classic.
Scotty Young, and Jason Cantoon.
Oh, who's Jay? Is he a new
Comic-
writer? Jason.
His name's Comics Misexplained on YouTube.
Oh,
and another guy named John. It's Comics with
Kids. It's pronounced Comics with Kids.
Okay.
John Comics with Kids.
So Bueller's asking who am I interviewing, and we said what was that dude's name?
Andy Smith. He's just kidding.
Okay. So we've got a lot of stuff going on. We've got another artist coming on. So hang on for us a little bit. We're going to end this stream and start a new stream here at 11:30. So in a half hour. So Gabby's going to be working on her artwork, and we're going to be bringing on. I'm going to remove Drew for a second and bring John back on. JD, who are we bringing on?
Working on it right now. I don't know yet. Someone soon.
Okay, somebody soon, and I'll put him in the back room, and let's do the Friday night show right.
That's what I've been saying for a long time, fans. You got the Friday 5, keeping it real, keeping it live here with Mainframe Comic-Con. Remember, con starts tomorrow. You want to make sure you're at mainframecomiccon.com to see all of the stuff you need to see, because that's going to be the place you'll want to show your face, because there ain't no doubting it. This con is going to be shouting it. Some of the best you're ever going to see in line. And I'll tell you, this kickoff show hosted by Seawood 19. Take it away, Woodard.
Well, Legend, I got 2 shout-outs. Number 1, we got the Comic-Con roundtable discussion. Me and Chad got to be on their show last week. It was absolutely awesome. Definitely sub those guys up. Once again, they're trying to grow their channel, so give them your sub. They're well worth it. And earlier, I didn't get a chance to shout it out because we're amidst an interview, having a good conversation. But we had a super chat from the Great Legend Show. And you know where the super chats go? They go right to the Hero Initiative.
That's right, Carson. I wanted to make sure everyone remembered that the Hero Initiative is the place to go. If you want a VIP panel experience like you've never seen before, make sure you go over to heroinitiative.org. It's one of the best you're going to see, and you're going to see a lot of great panels coming up in the future.
So what are some of the ones that have happened already?
Well, let me tell you about, I'm a little biased. I heard the Seawood 19 got to interview some of the publishing team from IDW. Now, that's pretty impressive. I heard Drew Manchu tried to fill a bust, but they says, no, you just can't. But he was wanting to. He must. But he got to talk to some folks from IDW as well. And then, anyways, I got to talk today, this morning, around 11 freaking o'clock Central Standard Time, noon Eastern. I got to talk to Dave Gibbons from Watchmen fame. And, man, that was excellent. I got to moderate that panel. And it was great because, Jim from Hero Initiative, he has enough faith in the Great Legend to host a panel. And, man, keeping it straight, no beanie, no legend, no rhymes, keeping it honest, doing my time. But I was interviewing like one of my favorites, the Seawood 19. Man, you can't, you don't want to get off kilter. You don't want to fill a bust, but you want to put on a good show because that's the way people will keep coming back to us. And when people come back to us and you donate to the heroinitiative.org, all proceeds are going to that. And you're helping comic book creators in need. Hell, you know what? You're helping comic book creators stay alive.
So I'm going to get back to Gabby real quick. Gabby. Yes. What are we working on?
Storm.
Yeah.
Where
Chad,
are we
I
at?
think it's Storm, I think.
She had it upside down. And I didn't know what was going on.
No, she was doing the legs of the Great Storm.
Gabby, you want to put that up on the screen?
Let me take care of that. Let me show that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Nope. Oh, one more. There you go.
So if you haven't checked her out, check out Gabby. She is over on Mainframe Comic Con. Her link is find her picture. It'll take you to her link. But Gabby is doing original artwork currently at $20 for an 8x10, $30 for a 9x12, 35 by 12x12, 40 by 11x14, and $60 for a 12x16, and $80 for a 14x18. And as you can see, every single stroke of that brush goes to that canvas, and that comes right out of your pocket, right to Gabby. Support those local artists, and we'll who left?
Is that her price list, or is that the anti-life equation?
That's her.
Both. It's both.
I'm gonna do the math on that.
You guys got to figure out how commas work.
But here's the thing: like you understand these prices. There's not what I don't even see anything over $100 on this commission list.
You
Go to a
can't find
con,
this at a
you're not going
normal
to find value like this, and she has put so much time and effort. You're going to get one heck of a deal, no matter what you get.
Guess what? I'm going to throw it in there right now. Gabby is doing an 8x10 for $20. It's better than the slap chop.
Yeah,
we have to shout out. We have to experience that. This is I call this a once in a lifetime experience where you can have somebody who her artistic talent is not only relevant, but it's there, and she's so young and so it's ridiculous that we get to pay these prices for these commissions, and I have no problem. I've commissioned Gabby several times, and I will say that I've never been more happy getting something back than I have with her. I mean, I've asked thousands of famous artists, and they've all done it. They've all done the Vader with the gauntlet, and I said, have fun with it. And she made this snap happen. I mean, she thinks outside the box. She does something that most people don't. She's a watercolor painter that you get to see hands-on.
You want to show them that?
And throughout the entire experience of getting the commission, she's there for you. So it's just a pleasant surprise.
JD, thank you for bringing the attention on to Abby. I am super stoked that we were able to include her in on this groundbreaking experience of what is Mainframe Comic-Con. But I gotta ask one question. Mark, what the fuck are you eating?
Oh, I was eating a pizza with jalapeno and sriracha earlier. But I just did the math on all of that right there. Here's the number. It is
back it up.
What's he trying to show us, Kat? Explain
the anti-life equation. Don't show us. The cease will happen.
He did the math on it.
I did math on all of it. That's all.
You know what? The Deceased Unkillables is fantastic.
I haven't checked it out yet. I really enjoyed the first volume.
Is that a movie?
No, it's a comic book.
It's a DC comic.
Marvel Zombies in the DC universe.
Better than Marvel Zombies because
it's not, but it's good.
When she talks now, I just kind of hear blah blah blah, dead people, blah blah blah, zombies, blah blah blah, T-Rexes, blah blah blah.
Mark just got this look on his face like he's either offended or had an epiphany because that's what he's been hearing all along.
He's like, we can relate.
Kat, we love you.
He doesn't
Kat,
want to get
you.
divorced.
Happy birthday, Kat.
I'm
I
not
love
going to
you.
say anything.
He can't say shit
Carson,
because he
what's
hits
going on
him.
in that chat?
She hits him.
Oh my god, my brain just ruptured.
No, remember how I answered the phone a few days ago, Chad?
Oh, dude. Listen, honestly,
That was
God,
amazing.
full disclosure, I have a conference call with somebody.
Yeah.
I have a conference call, and this is the Friday night portion, so I can say it. I have a conference call with somebody. I said, Kat, the night before, I'm like, Kat, can you take this conference call with me? She's like, absolutely, yeah. So the lady calls me, right? I call Kat with the lady on the phone. And Mark answers the phone. Hey, good looking. Well,
Hey,
let
good
me.
looking. How are you?
I'm gonna try it like he did. Hey, good looking. How are you?
Yep. Got
And
it.
I said to the lady on the phone, I'm like, well, that's Mark. That's Kat's husband. And then all of a sudden, you hear the phone drop. It hits the floor, and he goes, "Oh my God, not again!" And then all of a sudden, you hear a door slam. Kat picks up the phone and goes, "What the hell just happened?" And I told her, and she's like, "He's hiding under the bed." It was super weird. Mark's
totally
like, "No, not again."
Yeah.
No. Do you want to tell him what happened when you called when I was babysitting my niece? I was
When
on
your
the
mom
phone.
was bathing him?
No. I was babysitting Kaya.
Yeah.
So I'm babysitting Kaya. She's 4 years old. And Mark comes in, and Kaya instantly snatches the phone out of my hand and runs screaming to Mark. Says, Katie's on the phone with her boyfriend, and then hands her the phone. And
It is
Kat's
an
on
upgrade.
the other end doing
is an upgrade.
kissy noises.
Sorry, Mark. It is an upgrade.
Oh, it's okay. So I was watching Kaya earlier, and I asked her, it's like, so what have you been doing today? You know what her exact words were?
What?
Screwing around. I was like, what'd you just say, Kaya? She's like, nothing. Been watching movies.
She's a ballsy little girl.
All right, guys. So I'm going to give you guys an update on what's going on this evening. We've got, we're going to be ending the stream here in 20-some minutes.
Are we done for the night after that, or what?
What's that?
Are we done for the night after that?
We have to end because it's going to shut us off.
No, we don't have to end until midnight, Chad.
That was my question. To be honest,
I can't hear because everybody's
Or do
talking.
you want to end it?
No. We have to end it, and then we're starting another stream. John's Comics and Kids and Jason Cantu and JD will be rocking that next string with some people. One of them is Greg. Is Greg? How do you say his last?
Greg Rucka.
Yeah, and
Carson, what are they going to do without you?
I want Carson.
I don't know. I think my legs are dead, so I may not be able to move anyway. I might have to use my.
What time do you work tomorrow?
But anyway, yeah, Greg Rucka, phenomenal writer. I mean, Gotham Central, one of my all-time favorites. Batwoman, Detective Comics, and that's just his mainstream stuff.
Yeah, you won't shut up about that elegy.
Yeah, Batwoman elegy. That needs to go back on the pulpit. Anyway, go ahead.
Can I share with you guys? I've got Leanna texting me right now, and she's sharing us out. How awesome was that?
Yeah,
dude, Linnea Quigley was really awesome.
Well, it was great, man. She was amazing lady.
I didn't want to distract anybody, so I left.
Yeah,
check out her
that's
films.
probably the best bet, dude.
Yeah.
They're fantastic.
And honestly, let's kind of do a recap of this evening. We had Gabby on. We've had.
Wait, she's still here. She's still here. She's not.
Yeah, no, she's still working on her shit, her stuff.
She is still painting away.
Yeah.
Look at her go.
Man, that's amazing. All the yellow coming into it now. It's really starting.
Oh, there we got some color popping.
Oh, wow.
Hey, Gabby, give us the thumbs up. There she is. What a sweet girl, man. Dude, we got to be so nice to her.
Yeah, you're failing miserably, Chad, but everybody else is doing okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I heard Liz laugh on that one.
Yeah, she's right there.
Hey, as long as I'm popping the peanut gallery, I'm doing my job.
But honestly, throughout the night, I mean, let's talk about Michael Perryman. Berryman. Sorry. What an awesome time. I mean, he put a lot of things into perspective. I mean, Carson gave me a hug afterwards. But then, boom, we hit it in there with George Romero.
George C. Romero was amazing guest, really
cool.
great guest.
And then we got Alistair Duncan, right?
Alistair Duncan, another fantastic guest. My favorite video game, Severed Head.
Reggie Ballard.
Reggie was amazing as well. Got to see the inside story of him working with great comedic legends and his aspirations to work in a more dramatic role. I love talking to Reggie. That was a really fun interview.
And then we also have we had Linnea Quigley. Guys, if you don't know, I can't say anybody's name right.
Say my name right.
Shut the fuck up, Mark.
See, he did it.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're forgetting R.A.
Malahoff.
What an awesome dude.
Yeah, man. Leatherface was in the house.
He was fun.
The Saw is family. We all know this.
And we're gonna have to shut the stream down in a little bit.
Yeah, we'll get to it.
Yeah, no, we're gonna shut it down here at exactly 15 minutes. We have to shut it down. And then we had
countdown.
14
minutes and 10 seconds.
Chris Gossett.
Christian Gossett was fun to talk to.
Oh yeah.
Christian, how badass was JD's artwork? JD?
It was awesome, yeah.
I mean, you had the face, the whole dude. This is just the beginning of the weekend, and it's just starting. So, if you guys want to just continue with us, hang out. We're gonna keep it going.
Keep your eyes peeled, Chris Barrett. There will be some Potsy coming this
we
weekend.
got everybody here. There's going to be more content. This stream's going to shut down about 5 minutes. A new stream's going to start up soon, hosted by John's Comics with Kids and Jason Comics Must Explain Can too.
Are we getting Are we getting a return to the original Wednesday night show comics?
The original Unlimited show? I believe we smell that in the future.
Well, guys, where can we find everybody?
Carson, we're right here. We're going to be here all weekend, Chad.
Yeah.
Carson, where can we find you?
Oh, man. Of course, here on the Comic Core. We actually got a show coming up Monday, Drew. We get to read Batman the Killing Joke because Chad won the randomizer with his Hero Initiative
We'll see if I have any energy left for that, Carson. My horse might be sick.
That's why I'm glad. That's why I'm glad the book that won is only one issue.
Right?
It's
perfect.
perfect.
One oversized issue.
And then we're going to discuss stories that, that have been hyped up over the years that are classic reads, but we haven't read personally. So Drew might have a great story he's heard about. I hadn't read it. There might be something off the top 5 lists that I haven't read. We're going to talk about books like that. And we're going to start our poll for going into week 30, which is May the 4th, Star Wars week. So get ready for that. And I'm just youtube.com/cwooder19 if you want to see my live streams whenever I do them. But mainly, I'm just here on the core. So, Chad, actually, I'll go to Kat next. Kat, where can people find Kat Ren Figures and Mark BKR90, our newest moderator, by the way?
Yeah, finally got that blue wrench.
You're welcome, Mark.
Thanks, Chris. You can no longer remove my comments.
Anywho, all right. So Mark and I are gonna be on and off all weekend with everyone else. Even if we're not on screen, we're probably either gonna be in the chat or behind the scenes checking stuff out. Helping out, doing whatever. But you can find both of us on Kat Ren Figures.
You have an interview on Sunday, dude.
Yeah, I do.
Yes.
That's kind hotter. Oh yeah, but just a freaking icon in the world of horror. He boasts that he's killed the most amount of people and on film. Period. So continuing on, you can find us all on our channels as well as next weekend.
Does he not realize we're all on a stream right now?
We are going to be in next weekend. Drew Manchu is going to be on the Catherine Figures show. I don't know who else is going to actually come on it, but we're going to be playing.
We're going to choose our own adventure.
We're going to be playing some choose your own adventure style game, and it's going to be some fun stuff.
I can't wait.
I'm so glad to be out from underneath the bed.
Mark, just shut up. God.
Shut up, Mark.
Shut up, Mark.
I'm making a Shut Up Mark t-shirt. It's coming.
Jesus Christ, Mark.
Shut up, Mark.
You know, it's better than being in the box.
Shut up, Mark.
Love you, Chad.
All right. Anyway, Drew, where can people find you? You got that morning show that's been a hit lately.
People can find me every
Cat's
single
giving me a dirty
weekday.
look. I'm sorry.
Speaking.
Sorry, no, Cat's giving me a dirty look. Mark, I'm joking.
Cat's giving a dirty look to the camera. You don't know which one of us she's staring at. That's the beauty of it.
Say good night, Chad.
All right, go ahead, Drew. I muted everybody.
Every single weekday, 1:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you get Comic Core Daily with Drew Manchu. It's a self-produced program that I dedicate to all of you. And Monday, you're going to get to see me as burnt out from this thing as I've ever been burnt out from anything. And I did a 420 episode last week. So we'll see how it goes.
Awesome. JD, what's going to be new on Golden Guys next week?
Golden Guys, we have the Spinner Rack, which will be bringing you your favorite comics from 1938 to 1955. The week that we debut, which will be the first, we'll actually be doing the last week of April and the first week of May, hopefully. We should have that, as well as you never know what we're going to pick up. I'm actually in a bidding war for a very rare Will Eisner cover elephant cover Jungle Comics #2. I'm in a bidding war on eBay for a book that means more to me than anybody else, but it's Will Eisner cover, and that's what makes it very tough to find. I mean, there are 6 on the census of a very early book that is very popular, and they're known to be less than 50 in existence.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All I know is I've just been looking at the storm. I've been so enthralled by this painting.
Yeah, by the way, Gabby,
there.
by the way, she has stepped it up a notch. Look at
Oh,
that.
man,
look at that.
Gorgeous.
Oh, it's all coming together. Look at all that, man. Oh, man, that's crazy good.
Oh, my wife's coming in. The reason that we will buy anything. There she is. There's Liz. Way better looking than I am. Isn't she good, Storm?
So good.
No.
Yeah, Chad, we're quickly encroaching part 3, the epic finish of tonight's Mainframe Comic-Con. Last part hosted by John's Comics with Kids. Thank God, because like I said, I think from the waist down, like I might have to jumpstart my legs again. I've been sitting for 7 hours straight. I don't know how some of the other live streamers do it. Chad, I'm going to throw it to you for the conclusion, buddy.
Hey, yo, what's poppin'? My name's Chad. It's Friday night. Did I say that?
Yeah,
already?
cool kids.
Yeah.
All right, guys, listen. In
8
minutes, a new stream is about to start. You guys got to jump on there. Greg Reck is going to be on there. There's going to be special guests. Jason,
good time.
Jason Cantu is bringing the who's who of the comic book world to you. I did that for Legend. And if you guys need anything, guess what? We're going to be back tomorrow.
Well, thank you for being a friend.
At 12:30. And Chumpcast is asking, what day is it? It's
technically still Friday.
It's still Friday. Shit, it's a kickoff show. We're having fun.
Screen door salams.
All right, guys. That's it. I gotta go. See you in the next show. Take us out,
All right,
Carson.
here we go. We'll give one for Bob World. Here we go. Thank you guys so much.